Welcome into the Ogden Raptors broadcast network, a continuation of Game 2 in this series between the Ogden Raptors and Long Beach Coast. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting bringing you back this game just a bit later than we were expecting. Obviously, didn't even get through the first half of the first inning last night. There's 2 outs right now. A new pitcher is in. Chase Chapman started the night last night, and he gave up 7 runs. They've already batted around, have the Long Beach Coast, and now it is Matthew Bardowell coming up to bat. The count is 0-0. There is a runner on third. That runner is Benjamin Rosengard. And this one is on the ground. Chase Valentine charges it and makes a throw over to first. So finally the inning does end for the Ogden Raptors. That might set a record for longest inning ever. I mean, we're spanning over 12 hours, closer to 24 for that first inning. We're going to go. Okay, we're going to keep it here. And Tyson, let's just recap what happened last night.
Well, I think for the Raptors, I think they wish they had a complete do-over as Long Beach came out rolling. The game started with Benjamin Rosengard, the leadoff hitter, reaching on an error by Carmine Lane, and then Matthew Bardowell doubled. And then Akiba Best struck out. The fourth batter was Jacob Jablonski, and he had a 3-run homer to make it a 3-0 game. Cooper Vest singled. He's the fifth hitter for Long Beach. And then Easton Jones hit a 2-run homer to make it a 5-0 game. Anthony Mata struck out. He was the second out of the top of the first. And then David Whittle, who's catching for Long Beach, he had a single. And then Robert Pitts walked. And then Benjamin Rosengard in the second at-bat of the first inning hit a 2-run double to make it a 7-0 game. And then when Matthew Bardowell was at the plate, then the lightning delay came into effect, and the lightning delay turned into a rain delay, and it turned out to be a pretty big rainstorm. As I was driving home from Ogden towards the Salt Lake Valley last night, it was a pretty big rainstorm, and so play was suspended, and we resumed just a few minutes ago. This will be a 9-inning game. Because the game did get started. So it is a regular 9-inning game. And then the second game, the regularly scheduled game, is going to start at either 6:30 or it's going to start 30 minutes after this game concludes. And that will be a 7-inning game. So we're going to play a minimum of 16 innings here this evening. And Arden, it certainly should be a fun one as the Raptors have a bit of catching up to do as they're down 7-0 going into the bottom of the first.
Down 7-0, and their first at-bats of this ball game tonight. Cole Percival is the starting pitcher for Long Beach Coast. He is the son of their manager, Troy Percival, 6'5", 220 right-hander, who is 1-0 on the season and works a 2.65 ERA. Percival on the season has had 6 appearances. This is his 7th. His 4th start of the season, has pitched exactly 17 innings. So hasn't done a major amount of work out there on the mound, but he has been successful as a whole as he gets ready to go up against Chase Valentine. First pitch is swung on and missed. 91 miles an hour from the right-hander, so definitely has a good amount of speed. He offers a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, a slider, a changeup, and a splitter. That's his arsenal of 5 pitches. It's a 0-1 count to Chase Valentine, who had to wait an entire day to take his first at-bat of this game. He fouls this one back over our heads, and it's now 0-2 quickly.
Well, Troy Percival threw in the high 90s with his fastball. Cole Percival's got a high leg kick just like his father, who is the Long Beach manager, although Cole Percival comes back with his arm a little bit more than Troy Percival. He kind of winds it back, his arm back before the delivery, a little bit more than Troy Percival did.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Chase Valentine ahead of the 83-mile-an-hour off speed, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout to start off the game for Cole Percival. So a great start for Percival. We talked about it. Pitched 17 innings on the year. Has given up 17 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them earned, and a really good straight ratio between strikeouts to walks. 15 strikeouts to go along with 5 walks. So like I said, hasn't faced a huge amount of batters, but has been successful when he does. First pitch to Garrett Bivacqua is fouled up the first base line.
I think Cole Percival has spent some time in affiliate ball, as he is somebody that does have a pretty good arm and somebody that, Troy Percival, it was pretty much high 90s and you just about knew what it was going to be. Here it is, can you hit it? Looks like Cole Percival mixing a little bit more of a starters type repertoire with a lot of off-speed pitches.
0-1 count to Garrett Bivacqua, the lefty, second man in this batting order. He hits this one right up the middle. The shortstop comes over on it, and a running throw is made over to Cuba Bess at first base. Anthony Mata had to move aggressively to his left and made the throw on the run.
That ball looked like it just about hit the bag and would have been a nice break for the Raptors, but somehow it eluded the second base bag, and Mata, displaying some outstanding range, was able to come up with it.
Bring up the 3-hole hitter, Carmine Lane. The rest of the batting lineup today is Gio Ferraro batting cleanup. Lawrence is 5th, Sebastian Greco 6th, Cole Jordan 7th, Dylan Wilkinson 8th, and then Jason Jellick, the new catcher, is batting 9th. Jason Jellick got his professional debut, or professional starting debut, last night. He took a pinch hit back in game 1, which is his first ever professional at-bat. A 1 pitch to Carmine Lane, works inside. I guess got to be fully correct. He did play for Croatia, so has played baseball outside of college. Has Jason Jellick. 1-1 count to Carmine Lane. That's the first ball that we have seen thrown all game long from Percival, as Carmine Lane pulls this one foul up the third base line.
Lane with the teal bat, and there's quite a bit of teal in the field, as Long Beach for the third straight days going with their jersey, a black jersey with pinstripes and teal on the sleeves of the pretty sharp-looking jerseys.
1-2. That one's too high, and the count now 2-2 to Carmine Lane. Carmine in game 1 had a great game. Went 4 for 6, scored 3 times himself, and had 2 doubles. On the season, bats at exactly 400. Has only missed 1 game the entire season. Has played 60 of 61 games. Here comes the 2-2, and that one's too low. Full count. Sparse crowd here on this Thursday afternoon, is obviously fans not really expecting a 3 p.m. game today.
It will pack up quite a bit as the afternoon progresses.
3-2, 2 outs to Carmine Lane. Here comes a delivery from the righty, and that one is inside for a 2-out walk, awarded to Carmine Lane.
That was a good at bat by Lane, working the count and getting Gio Ferraro at the plate. And you mentioned Carmine Lane being a hot hitter, but how about Gio Ferraro hitting .412 on the year, and he leads around. He's tied for the club lead with 18 homers.
18 homers. That's tied with Colson Lawrence. That also puts him in the top 5 in the Pioneer League. And he's coming off of a game 6 in the last series where he went 5 for 5 against the Glacier Range Riders. It's his second time this season having a perfect 5 for 5 night, as he had a phenomenal 2-game stretch against the Idaho Falls Chuckers where he went 8 for 9, batted in over 6 runs. I mean, it was quite a stretch for Gio Ferraro. He fouls back the first pitch to make it 0-1. Carmine Lane with a conservative lead off of first base. This next pitch is hit into center field. Moving over to his left is Robert Pitts, and he makes the snag for the third out of the inning, just shy of the warning track. So after 1 inning, it is Long Beach 7, Raptors 0, as we head into the top of the second after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information, or visit ascentcu.com.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility, supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting. Game 2 of this series between the Ogden Raptors and Long Beach Coast, a game that was suspended yesterday and then has been resumed this afternoon. A first pitch called strike coming into Cuba Best from Carson Kelly. This is the closest that Kelly has gotten to a start this year, as this one is hit on a line drive to center field. That goes over the head of center fielder Dylan Wilkinson, and that's going to be good enough for a double for Best to lead off the top of the second inning. And Long Beach bats may have had to go to sleep between the first and second innings, but they are just as hot as they were yesterday.
And that ball off the bat was about as hot as the temperature here. It's 95 degrees at Lindquist Field, and that ball was 111 miles an hour off the bat. Ball just jumps off Cuba Best's bat, and he's been a strong run producer for Long Beach all season long.
Carson Kelly this season, the pitcher for the Ogden Raptors, has had 10 appearances. This is 11th. No starts. And like I said, basically getting as close to a start as he can, as he came in 2 outs into the first inning and was the first pitcher on the mound on this Thursday afternoon. Chase Chapman was the pitcher who started the game yesterday. This one is lifted into the air by Jacob Jablonski, and watch it fly. A home run for Jablonski to put 2 more runs onto the Long Beach total. It's now 9-0.
Second home run this evening for Jablonski, or second home run in this game spanning 2 days. He had a 3-run homer in the first inning, and now a 2-run shot. And for Jablonski, he was one of Idaho Falls' best power hitters last year. And Jablonski with 2 homers on the game. That gives him 18 on the year. He is now tied with Cuba Best for the club lead.
Long Beach continuing exactly where they left off yesterday. I mean, there's always a question of whether momentum is going to carry over when you have a game suspended like last night's was. It's the first pitch to Cooper Vest mid-south side. But Long Beach has clearly done exactly what they need to do and picked up right where they left off. The first 2 pitches from Carson Kelly, one misses outside, the next misses inside for a 2-0 count. Both teams have only one challenge left, as this next pitch is swung on and missed. Way ahead of it was Vest. Both of them used challenges in the first inning and were unsuccessful. So now a 2-1 count to Vest, who singled his last time up. Next pitch, 75-mile-an-hour off speed, misses outside, and it's now 3-1 to Vest. Cooper Vest, 24-year-old from St. George, Utah. Went to BYU for college, is very familiar with Utah as he hits this one. A soft fly ball into short left field, and Carmine Lane misplays it over at third base. He's unable to make the throw, and the throw is going to go back to second, and so it'll be likely an error on Carmine in shallow left field, and Cooper Vest now stands on first.
One of those with it being in the middle of the afternoon, the left side of the field has to battle the sun a little bit, and that's looked like Lane was able to get under it, just kind of clanked off his glove. And unfortunately for Lane, there'll be a second error of the game, and third for the Raptors, as Ogden has been a little bit shaky in the field in this contest.
So now Cooper Vest is the runner on first for Easton Jones. First pitch is a called strike to him. Jones homered his last time up. Jones, another one of those players who is familiar with Utah, played his college baseball at BYU. Carson Kelly, and they have got Vest running down in a pickle, and Chase Valentine will come out and tag him out. So the first out of this second inning is recorded as they caught Cooper Vest a little bit on the base paths. For anyone keeping score, they are giving Vest the single. Not an error on Carmine Lane as of now.
Looked like the Long Beach Coast bullpen was giving it to the first base umpire, thinking it was a balk move, but it was certainly a creative move by Kelly to get the pick off.
Another pitch called strike to Easton Jones, so now an 0-2 count. Jones 1 for 1 on the day with that homer. Staring at an 0-2 count right now. Very vertical swing, arms high, and he pokes this one foul up the right field line to stay alive. Jones on the season has had decent numbers thus far. He's batting .238, hasn't had a lot of action, has only played this is his 8th game. Next pitch misses outside, and a good snag by Jelic keeps the ball in front of him. Easton Jones played 5 of the team's 6 games in the 2 series that they played against the Ballers and the Mobiles. He batted .235, going just 4 for 17 in that series. The 1-2 is swung on and missed, and Cooper Kelly has recorded his first strikeout of his outing.
Had pretty good break to it. Probably was a little bit outside, but one of those where looked like Jones was going to hold up, and at the very last second decided to take a swing at it, and he was late on the 73-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch.
So now up to bat is Anthony Matta. He struck out looking his last time up. First pitch, a off-speed that caught the middle of the zone for called strike 1. Umpires are in the same positions as yesterday, as it is the same game. You got Matt Beaver behind home plate, Mike Green on first, and Travis Schatzman on third. Next pitch misses outside to make it 1-1. The Raptors are coming off of a huge victory for them in Game 1. They walked away from that game with a 17-9 victory. 1-1 misses inside to make it 2-1. That victory snapped a 3-game win streak for Long Beach Coast and gave Ogden a victory over the best team in the entire Pioneer League. So a big victory for them, but now looking at a 9-0 deficit. 2-1 is way ahead, was Anthony Matta for the second strike.
Now with Kelly, a few of those swings and misses on that 73-mile-an-hour pitch. It kind of looks like a bit of a sweeper, as it doesn't have a ton of vertical break, but it does horizontally move quite a bit. In fact, that last pitch had a horizontal break of over 6 inches.
So now it's a 2-2 count to Matta, and he fouls this one away towards the bullpen for the Ogden Raptors. Matta on the season coming into this game had 21 strikeouts. He's already picked up 1 tonight. Matta's played in just over 2/3 of the games for the Coast. Played in 46 of their 60. This is their 61st game. 62nd, excuse me. Next pitch misses inside and low, and the count's now full. Matta looking to avoid his second strikeout of the night. The first one was Chase Chapman on the mound and buckled his knees as he watched one go through. And once again, this time Cooper Kelly buckles Anthony Matta's knees. He watches a strike sail past him for the 3rd out of the inning and his second strikeout looking of the night. So after giving up a 2-run home run, Cooper Kelly limits the damage and sits down the next 3 batters. It's currently a 9-0 lead for Long Beach Coast heading into the bottom of the 2nd on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors broadcast network here at Lindquist Field. It is the Coast leading the Raptors 9-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. First pitch incoming from Percival to Colson. Lawrence is swung on and missed for strike one. Raptors are not afraid to swing on the first pitch. Colson Lawrence especially. Chase Valentine and Colson Lawrence are kind of the two who do that the most often. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing. And they're saying he did go around for strike two. So now an 0-2 count. Raptors still working their way through the batting order for the first time as they went 4 up, 3 down in the first inning. In comparison, as the 0-2 comes in and it's lightly tapped foul. The Long Beach Coast are just 2 batters away from getting through their lineup for the second time. Raptors do have plenty of game left to pull back into this one. 8 innings to overcome a 9-run deficit, but Long Beach Coast's bats have looked great so far. Here comes the 0-2, and it misses outside as Percival tried to get Colson Lawrence to chase.
Raptors, it is the middle of the afternoon. It is 95 degrees, but they are used to being out there. This is pretty close to batting practice time for a 6:30 start.
3:30 is batting practice for the Raptors, so it's 3:21 right now. Colson Lawrence hits this one pretty hard to center field. Does it have enough distance? And it does. Home run for Colson Lawrence in the bottom of the second, gets the Raptors on the board. High fives, third base coach Ed Campanello as he trots by, and that's exactly what the Raptors needed if they were going to overcome this deficit. It feels like a huge hill to climb until you get that first run, and then maybe you can stack a few more together. Colson Lawrence, a leadoff homer to start off the bottom of the second.
Well, that's now a homer in back-to-back games. He was outstanding, was Colson Lawrence on Tuesday, where he had 2 doubles and a homer and 5 RBIs. Ball seems to be carrying pretty well once again this afternoon.
That gives Colson a team-leading 19 home runs. He surpasses Gio Ferraro by 1. First pitch is fouled back by Sebastian Greco, the DH tonight.
Speaking of players who were good on Tuesday, how about Sebastian Greco? He had 2 doubles, a single, and a 2-run homer. So he had 4 hits on Tuesday, and he was a star. And when he connects, they can go a long, long way.
0-1 is swung on and missed by Greco, and he falls behind 0-2. I mean, a lot went well for Ogden on Tuesday night. That was Long Beach's largest margin of defeat all season long at that 8-run defeat. And it was just a big difference for Long Beach Coast as they're used to playing at sea level in comparison to the about 4,500 feet that Ogden sits at. The next pitch from Percival misses outside, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say Long Beach has made the adjustment to the baseballs and altitude.
And Troy Percival has plenty of experience managing games here as he was the manager for the Idaho Falls Chuckers for 2 seasons. Sebastian Greco gets under this one, and it's lifted into left field. That one is also out of the ballpark. Back-to-back home runs for the Ogden Raptors. Cole Percival is shaking his head in disbelief.
It looks like Cole Percival's father, Troy, is going to go out and talk with him, and I think Cole Percival I don't think he can believe that ball went out of the ballpark. I don't think he can believe that either one of them left the ballpark. That was only 384 feet, and just one of those where, if you're at Coors Field, pre-humidor, it seems like, you get those 15 to 14 type of games. Cole Percival slams the rosin bag, and I think he's a little bit frustrated as he is now experiencing baseball at altitude without a humidor, and boy, it looks like we're in for quite the treat. And remember, if you're in the Ogden area and you get off work in about an hour or so, there's plenty of time as we'll have 2 games today, and we're going to have a ton of fun action.
Game 2 of the doubleheader today will be a 7-inning game. But a great start so far to this ball game for the Raptors.
With the way the ball's carrying out of here, it's 9-2, but there's still plenty of baseball left.
Cole Jordan will step up to bat now. He's playing second today, first at-bat of the night. Cole Percival obviously still on the mound. No one warming up for the for the Coast in their bullpen. Jordan, good night last night, or on Tuesday, I guess. First pitch is a called strike. 2 for 4 on the game on Tuesday. Had 1 RBI as he hit a solo home run back in the second inning. Waving the bat above his right shoulder, and he lifts one with quite a lot of distance, but he was way ahead of the 83-mile-an-hour pitch, and that one was closer to the car park than it was the field.
Hopefully it misses your car by a good mile.
I think I'm all right today. I've been strategically parking on the closer side of 23rd so that if a ball were to leave the park and get over the fence, it probably would not be coming at an angle to hit my car. 0-2 misses too high. Also, I'm not driving my own car. I'm driving my mom's car, so we really can't let that one get hit.
Yeah, you obviously were pretty smart in geometry class, knowing the angles and stuff.
I don't know. My teacher, Lisa Friedman, she might have something else to say about that. Cole Jordan holds back on the next pitch, and it's a ball in the dirt to make it 2-2.
Well, you got to know the angles to be a good golfer, and so obviously, it's just natural that you're going to be pretty good in the angles and geometry and that sort of thing.
I won't flame him too much because he's not here to defend himself, but me and Bags played 18 this morning. I took a win by a decent margin. That's all I'll say. Here comes the 2-2, and it's lined up the third base line fair on the ground, now going past the bullpen for the Raptors and being handled by Matthew Bardowell in left field. But Cole Jordan makes it to second base easily for a double, and a great start to this bottom of the second inning. Home run, double for the Raptors.
That was one of those. Percival couldn't believe that one as well, as he feels like he's getting a little bit of bad luck. For Jordan, it was just down the third base line. And even though it looked like the third baseman Rosengard was playing somewhat towards the line, that was just a perfectly placed ball by Cole Jordan.
Cole Jordan has been batting well recently, as he's got that home run in game 1 and now a double in game 2. Dylan Wilkinson up to bat now. Lefty going against the tall righty, and he swings through the zone on a check swing that did have his bat go fully over home plate. So an 0-1 count on Wilkinson. He's playing center today. We've talked about it a lot this season. You could really find Wilkinson anywhere on the field. Here comes the 0-1. He pushes a bunt up the first base line. Taking it himself is Cuba Best, but it advances Cole Jordan to third. And now a runner in scoring position with just one out for the Ogden Raptors.
Nice sacrifice bunt there by Wilkinson. He knew with Jordan running well and with the Best playing back at first, he just needed to get something towards the right side. And he will get a few high fives in the Raptors dugout because it is a productive out move in the runner.
One out for Jason Jellick, and this first pitch is grounded up the third base line, foul.
Boy, Jellick's got pretty good size, 6'3", 225 pounds. Pretty strong fellow. And like a lot of catchers, he's got a pretty strong lower half.
Jellick bats left-handed. He catches behind home plate right-handed. Here comes the 0-1, and he fouls it basically in the same spot. So Jellick just a little bit behind the fastball at 91 miles an hour from Percival.
Well, Percival's throwing a lot of those pitches about 83, 84 miles an hour, and so with that, a 91 mile an hour fastball looked just a little bit harder to a hitter like Jellick.
One out, Cole Jordan on third. Here comes the 0-2, and they went fast once again, but this one a little bit too high. That one 92 miles an hour. So now it's a 1-2 count. You're curious, after Jellick has been so far behind the first two, do you try to sail one past him, or do you really try to mess up his speed and slow it down? They went fast. The 1-2 is just golfed onto the ground, handled by second baseman Jablonski, and they'll make the second out over at first, but Jellick is responsible for scoring Cole Jordan, and that's his first RBI as a Ogden Raptor.
What a good piece of hitting there. He got something off speed. Jellick might have been looking fastball and then adjusted to the off-speed pitch, and they may look like a simple ground out to the second baseman, but it is an RBI. And, two productive outs after the Jordan double. And, obviously you'd love to get base hits and not get outs, but two productive outs to the right side, bringing a run. That's what you call manufacturing a run right there.
Absolutely, the sack bunt and then the grounder. First pitch is hit high in the air to right field by Valentine. Cooper Vest comes in on it in right, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. The Ogden Raptors put up 3 runs off of 3 hits, and they trail now by 6. 9-3 in favor of the Coast after 2 innings. We'll be back for the top of the third after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out.
We're cheap.
just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all three. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10?
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket. Like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team.
This can keep a battle buddy safe from the risk of suicide.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting.
You know, if I learned one thing, it's to not say a four-letter word that starts with an R.
There we go. I was just showing Tyson as the first pitch from Carson Kelly is swung on and missed by David Whittle that I made a TikTok yesterday of us, chatting and having a good time. Tyson said that banned four-letter word, and then just shortly after, as this one is lined over the outstretched glove of Chase Valentine to go down as a base hit into left field. Shortly after Tyson said that, we went into a lightning delay. So am I saying it was Tyson's fault? Yes, 100%.
It absolutely was my fault. You know, I could say it today, and I don't think it's going to matter. There's hardly a cloud in the sky. There's a little bit of a cloud right there over one of the peaks of the mountains. Otherwise, pretty much blue skies, although unfortunately Long Beach brought a little bit of the Southern California smog, as it looks like it's a little bit hazy here.
Can't complain, though. Much better than yesterday, as the pickoff throw causes David Whittle to go diving in head first to first base. David Whittle's second hit of the game just now. 2 singles. Robert Pitts stands in the right-handed batter's box. He walked his last time up. First pitch to him misses too low and outside for ball 1.
Kelly on the mound. He might be the youngest of all the Raptors. He's just 21 years old. He'll be 22 in October.
Joined the team about halfway through the season. Here comes the 1-0, and that one misses outside. Kelly provides a lot out on the mound. He's a left-handed pitcher, which the Raptors don't have a lot of. There's actually just not that many left-handed pitchers throughout the Pioneer League. And then he also has that sidearm delivery that he can almost go submarine with it if he wants. Here comes the 2-0, and this one is pulled on one hop, handled by Valentine. They'll turn one over at second and get 2 over at first. Not the exact cut and dry double play that you'll always see, as Chase Valentine gloved the short hop perfectly. But Carson Kelly does induce a double play, and now 2 outs for the top of the batting order in Benjamin Rosengard.
Well, that one had a little bit of a looper there, and Valentine had to make a decision as to whether he charges it and tries to catch it in the air or play back on it. He decided to play back on it, and Pitt's a pretty good runner, but it didn't look like Pitt's got a good jump out of the batter's box, and so Valentine was able to easily turn 2.
Benjamin Rosengard reached on an error his first time up and then doubled last time in the second inning. First pitch is a called strike in the bottom inside part of the strike zone. This is Rosengard's first time being the leadoff man as he swings and misses on the next pitch. Their leadoff man, Eddie Pelk, snapped his 75-game on-base streak yesterday. He had played every single game of the season, and then finally snapping that streak, got a rest from granted by manager Troy Percival. You know, you can't rest someone or sit someone when they're on a streak like that, but the second it ends, you're going to give him a break. The 0-2 misses outside to make it 1-2.
Now, with both lineups with the 7-inning game tonight, we'll probably see Pelk and quite a few changes on both sides. Probably a new catcher on either side, as they'll usually make a few changes in a doubleheader.
1-2 is lightly grounded, and it's handled by Carson Kelly as he flailed his right gloved hand. He tosses it off to Ferraro. for the third out of the inning. So the best inning of the game so far for the Ogden Raptors as they hold Long Beach Coast scoreless for the first time. It's still 9-3 in favor of the Coast. After the top of the third, we'll be back for the bottom of it after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon next to an open prairie fire while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Our indoor recreation of the American Pioneer West provides a great atmosphere for intimate dinners, special events, and large banquets. Check out our menu at prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
This is Emmy with the Ogden Raptors, and now back for more baseball.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. After 2.5, it is Long Beach 9, Ogden 3. Long Beach, though, is being outscored in today's action, I guess to call it. First pitch is hit into the first baseman's mitt and given over to Percival, the streaking catcher, to get the first out of the inning. Obviously, the game was resumed at 3 p.m. here today. The Long Beach Coast scored 7 runs yesterday. They've only scored 2 today. The Raptors have scored 3 today. So teams always talk about winning the day. The Raptors are doing that right now.
The Raptors would have loved for that 7 spot to just not be on the scoreboard, to just start a fresh game.
Do you think there was any discussion yesterday of, hey, just with the delay, should we just wipe the whole game?
I think in past rules, I think you could just wipe it away and just call it a doubleheader and play 7 games and pretend that that last night didn't happen, but not with the way the current rules are set up.
1-0 count to Carmine Lane. He grounded out, or excuse me, he walked his last time up. Next pitch is fouled up and out of play up the right field line.
I think it used to be. I think back to the 1982 National League Championship Series with the Braves and Cardinals. They played that first game, got rained out in the 5th inning, but it wasn't an official game. So the next day they started a fresh game from scratch. And the Braves had the lead, but the Cardinals came back and won that game.
Lane hits this one high in the air to right field, and it is also out of the ballpark. 3 home runs in the last 2 innings, and Cole Percival is visibly upset on the mound. He keeps waving his hands and kind of putting him out to his side in that I don't know shrug. The ball is clearly traveling way farther than he's expecting.
He's wondering if he was throwing a golf ball out there to Carmine Lane, because that's what it looked like. It was just one of those. It was a pretty well-hit ball by Carmine Lane, but not one that you think would go 385 feet. And so Cole Percival is wondering, am I at Coors Field pre-Humidor? He's wondering, hey, any ball in the air might end up leaving the ballpark today.
So next up, it'll be Gio Ferraro, who is always a home run threat. Came into this game tied for the most home runs of anyone on the team. Colson Lawrence's home run in the 2nd inning gave him the lead. So now Gio Ferraro may be coming to the plate, trying to square back up in that little competition. First pitch is swung on and missed.
With the ball carrying the way it is, hitters are probably going up to the plate with a lot of confidence.
The off-speed catches the bottom of the zone for called strike 2. We're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge from Gio Ferraro. It's a called strike. And the call is overturned. So Ogden will retain their challenge, and now instead of an 0-2 count, it's 1-1 for Ferraro. Percival with his glove just under his belt. He kicks and fires. This one is up in the air for Ferraro, but it's going to be a pop out, it looks like, just shy of the right field wall. That one is also out of here. My goodness, is the ball traveling right now? That is 4 home runs in the span of 8 batters for the Ogden Raptors.
It was well hit off the bat at 103 miles an hour, but Cole Percival's looking at the baseball wondering, does that say OT Sports or Titleist on it?
And it's not often you see a pitcher getting as visibly frustrated and rattled as Percival. Hand on the back from his catcher, David Whittle, as he walks out to the mound and has a chat with him.
They may end up using all their mound visits here in the first 3 innings. Percival just can't believe it. What looks like routine fly balls, or what he thinks looks like routine fly balls, all of a sudden turn into home runs.
To a certain extent, though, Percival is leaving it over the plate a decent amount on all of these pitches that have been hit out of the park. Yes, that one was low in the zone, but it was still in that kind of middle 3 squares that make up the center of the strike zone. So on a day like today where the ball's flying, you just have to be challenging the sides of the zone, working in those outside 6 rectangles. Does just that, but misses a little bit, and it's ball 1 outside to Colson Lawrence, who was the first player in this absolute onslaught of home runs. Looking to become the 5th batter to hit a home run in the last 9. Next pitch is in there for a called strike to make it 1-1.
Well, Percival only allowed 1 home run in his first 17 innings of the season, and he's already allowed 4 in 2 1/3.
Lawrence swings and misses half-heartedly at the next pitch inside, and it's now 1-2. The Raptors game was not the only postponed game last night, as Glacier and Boise's game also was postponed. Here comes the 1-2, and it's outside. I guess we're the only suspended game. Boise and Glacier postponed.
Yeah, they never did get underway. We did get underway, played 2/3 of an inning, and then play was stopped.
Deuce's count coming into Colson Lawrence. His left foot slightly more open than his back right foot, and he fouls his next pitch off over towards O-Town to do the 2-2 again.
Not sure about the length of Carson Kelly and how many innings he can work. Harper McClendon had been warming up in the Raptors bullpen, so we may see him in the top of the 4th.
2-2 count, 1 out. Colson Lawrence coming off of a home run his last time up. The pitch from Percival misses outside as Lawrence tracked it and bent his knees, matching the diving ball flight of the pitch. Scores from yesterday. Great Falls took the win over Missoula 22-12. Here comes the payoff pitch from Percival. And it swung on and missed by Colson Lawrence. He was out in front of the 82-mile-an-hour pitch. And that is the second strikeout of the outing for Cole Percival, the first on this Thursday afternoon. Other scores, Oakland takes the win over Yuba Sutter 9-4. And the Red Pocket Mobiles lose to Modesto 11-5. So Modesto is playing very, very well. They moved to 13-1 for the second half of this season. 1 out. Sebastian Greco up. He swings and misses on the first pitch. Greco also homered his last time up. Percival did a better job in that last at working the outside of the zones, not really challenging the middle. That's where the Raptors have made him pay thus far. His next pitch miss is too low, and it's 1-1.
So for Percival, he's probably just thinking, all right, I just got to mix my pitches and keep the hitters off balance and hope they don't make any sort of hard contact. So he's mixing quite a bit of off-speed pitches, and he's doing a good job keeping the Raptors hitters off balance.
It's a 2-1 count now to Greco. Steps into the batter's box with his left foot first. Taps the outside of home plate and then the inside. Percival, 6'5" frame, a big leg kick. Here comes the 2-1. That one catches the top of the zone just barely. Sebastian Greco looks back and has a couple words with home plate umpire Matt Beaver, but doesn't challenge. 2-2 to Greco now, the exact count that he hit his last home run at. Waving his tan bat, here comes the offering. And he grounds this one foul behind him into the backstop. The Raptors dugout usually one that provides a decent amount of shade and gets shade before the opposing dugout, but in the heat of the afternoon now, both of these teams are basically smack dab in the middle of the sun. Here comes the 2-2 again, and it's very lightly tapped. It's going to go off of the foot of Sebastian Greco, so the ball's dead as it hit him when he was in the batter's box. Greco will walk it off. It looks like it hit his front right shin, which is padded, but not in an area that would have provided him any support in that scenario.
Yeah, it missed the pad. Every time you get one of those shin guards, for some reason, it seems like it always misses the pad.
The armor, as Dave Baggett likes to call it. Ready again for the 2-2 for the third time now. And basically the exact same result. That one luckily didn't hit Greco's leg, but it did bounce in the batter's box. That was a pretty middle pitch, but it had a decent amount of horizontal movement on it. So Greco continuing to battle. 2 outs. No, 1 out. 2 outs. 2 outs. And he hits this one foul off the first base line.
Deuces are wild, and they've been wild here as Greco's putting together a pretty good at-bat, even though we haven't heard the Deuces wild thing from the video board and the sound here at Lindquist Field. So fans are kind of yelling Deuces on their own.
2-2, 2 outs. Raptors have scored 2 in this inning already. And Greco swings and misses on the next pitch. Percival gets out of the inning without any more damage done, but he allows 2 more home runs. And the Raptors continue to claw their way back into this one. It's now 9-5 in favor of Long Beach. And we'll be back for the top of the 4th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
It starts with a vision, a goal that sets the wheels in motion. The path may be rough, but with grit, hard work, and the right support, no race is too tough. No goal beyond reach. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and expertise I need to get across the finish line. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
Men can take a hit. We can tough it out. We're told to suck it up a lot more than we're asked to talk it out. But the truth is, the only way to tackle what's up here is to simply say what we're feeling. With friends, family, or the Utah Crisis Hotline. Put this number in your contacts right now. And if you're ever wondering if you have someone to talk to, you do. 24/7.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Looks like it's going to be a bullpen game for Ogden today as a new pitcher is in the top of the 4th inning. That pitcher is Harper McClendon, the righty with his flowing locks. He came in to relieve in Game 1 back on Tuesday, went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, and 2 strikeouts. First pitch is swung on and missed by Matthew Bardowell. Only issue in that game was just he gave up 2 home runs. And that accounted for the 2 runs that he gave up. So luckily only gave up solo shots. Next pitch misses outside. McClendon is usually good for an inning, max 2 innings of relief. So I would guess by the end of this game, the Raptors are on their 3rd pitcher already. They're probably going to be looking at using 5 to 6 pitchers. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. He got Matthew Bardowell to chase the outside pitch.
So, yeah, I could use a Pepsi right now, Art, and hopefully somebody in the concession stands can supply us with a beverage.
95 degrees, and even in the booth, it's a little steamy. The 1-2. McClendon goes to the same spot, but doesn't get Bardowell to chase, so now 2-2.
Well, in the evening game, Raptors are certainly going to be hoping for a long start, and I think both clubs are pretty happy that tonight's game that will start at either 6:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one's only going to be a 7-inning ball game.
And McClendon once again going outside, missing to Matthew Bardowell. Must have some sort of scouting report on Bardowell that he struggles with the outside pitch, as they have gone outside for all 5 pitches of this at-bat thus far. Here comes the 6th pitch of the at-bat, full count, payoff pitch. And it is pushed foul out of play. McClendon has a bit of a unique delivery, as he doesn't really extend his right arm fully out, where sometimes the ball even gets to face second base for pitchers with full extension. He really keeps his palm of his right hand faced towards home plate for almost its entire motion. 3-2 is swung on and missed, and that's strikeout numero uno on the night for Harper McClendon.
That was a pretty nasty off-speed pitch, and it did catch plenty of the zone, so it had to be a swing there by Bardowell, and that's a pretty good start for the outing of Harper McClendon.
McClendon on the season thus far has a 4.82 ERA. That's third best on the team. Cuba Bess is digging in. This is his 9th appearance. All of them have been in relief. And in 9 appearances has pitched 9 1/3 innings. So basically averaging an inning per appearance. Given up 11 hits, 10 runs, has struck out 6, now 7, walked 4. 1-0 is batted foul by Bess, and it's now 1-1. Bess hit that towering 444-foot home run back in Game 1. So far tonight, Raptors have managed to keep his ball inside the park, but he did hit a double back in the 2nd inning as he now does his best Sebastian Greco impression and fouls the next pitch off his foot to make it 1-2.
He wants to do a Sebastian Greco impersonation by hitting a home run and not fouling something towards his shin. And like Sebastian Greco, has that big shin guard there for trying to protect his right leg, and unfortunately, I think it missed it.
1-2 once again. Bess, left-hander. Bottom of his bat is dark brown. Top of it is a deep black. Here comes the pitch, and he lifts this one foul out of play. For any of you guys tuning into this ball game, you'll notice we're a little limited on our camera angles. We will have our full camera team back here for the night game. Most of our incredible crew also work other jobs, as the 1-2 is hit high in the air and is tailing into foul territory, now back into fair. Everyone going back on it, and Carmine Lane makes the catch in shallow left field. That ball had quite a lot of English in it up in the air. Kind of drew foul, then moved back into play, and Carmine Lane ultimately was the one to make the snag.
Kind of looked like he had to zigzag this way, move to his left, then back to his right, and was able to come up with it.
But as I was saying, our incredible crew is made up of people who often are working other jobs during the day, and the 3 p.m. game didn't really allow a lot of them to get here in time. So we'll have the full crew back for the game tonight, and we're working with what we have right now. First pitch is a called strike to Jacob Jablonski.
That's the beauty of unemployment for me, is that if the game starts at 7 a.m., 3 p.m., 7 p.m., you know what? I'm there. If we want to start at 5 a.m.,
0-1 is rocketed into right field. That'll go down as a base hit, landing in the grass and shallow right field. Bavakwa picks it up and throws it back into the infield. But a 2-out single is good enough for Jacob Jablonski to get on base.
well, the Raptors are certainly happy that ball stayed in the park, as Jablonski's already hit 2 homers. A home run in the 1st inning yesterday, and then a 2-run homer here in the 2nd inning.
I mean, how often are you saying that? Home run in the 1st inning yesterday. Home run in the 2nd inning today.
Doesn't happen very often.
Gotta love the unique situations that baseball presents. First pitch is inside to Cooper Vest. McClendon clearly missed his spot by a little bit. You can always tell that by how much the catcher behind home plate has to move. And Jellick behind home plate had to flail his left glove hand to catch that one. The 1-0 is on the ground. Cole Jordan handles it and gives it over to Chase Valentine at shortstop to get the 3rd out of the inning. So for 2 innings in a row now, the Raptors have held Long Beach scoreless, but it's still the Coast 9 and the Raptors 5. Coast leads by 4 heading into the bottom of the 4th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Don't be a bench warmer. Call the insurance center so that you can get on the field and have a good time and get your insurance done properly. Go Raptors!
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. After 3.5 innings, it is Long Beach Coast 9, Ogden Raptors 5, but Ogden has worked their way back into this ball game as coming into the game that got resumed today, they were trailing 7-0 after half an inning. Trailed 7-0 after the first inning, trailed 9-0 after the first inning and a half. And then a few home runs in that second inning helped them secure the 3 runs that they needed there. And then following up after that, 2 more home runs in the bottom of the third gets them to the 5-run total that they're at right now. 1-0 pitch is batted off of the end of Cole Jordan's bat for a foul ball, strike 1.
Everybody in the Raptors lineup, 3 through 6, has a home run. Lawrence and Greco, the 5 and 6 hitters in the order, homered in the second inning, and then Lane and Ferraro went back-to-back. They're the 3 and 4 hitters, and they each homered in the third inning.
1-1 count. Cole Jordan barely rotating the bat above his head, and the next pitch misses outside. Each batter has their own unique undulation of the bat. For Chase Valentine, it's a little bit more of a slow move and then a whip, slow move into a whip. Cole just kind of barely moves it above his head. He fouls off the next pitch, and that one looks like it might have caught David Whittle.
Oh, boy. Looks like Whittle's going to need some time as the trainer's going to run out there.
And he's pretty keeled over, as you're hoping that it's just hitting him in a rough spot and that while it does hurt, he'll be able to walk it off, opposed to something that could be more lasting.
And there's Whittle walking it off. And there's really nothing the trainer can do. All the trainer really can do is offer some support and a pat on the back. And it looks like Whittle's going to be good to stay in the game. The old home plate umpire is going to do what he can to try to give Whittle some time.
And that's a hard one to announce. I think everyone watching or listening can pretty much picture exactly what happened. I can't say, as a 21-year-old girl myself, that I can really relate to that at all. Some of our male viewers might be able to. 2-2 to Cole Jordan. And he goes down to get this one. It goes past a ranging Anthony Matta at shortstop. And that'll be a leadoff single for Cole Jordan. Nothing pretty or hard hit about that ball, but it found the gap when it needed to.
Well, that's the second time Jordan has had a baseball that's just found its way. Had that double down the third baseline, and that one just kind of squibbed towards the shortstop and was just perfectly placed. And Cole Jordan with 2 hits tonight, and both of them weren't necessarily hit all that hard, but were hitting the perfect spot.
Dylan Wilkinson up now. He bunted up the first base line last time. That advanced Cole Jordan and ultimately allowed him to score. He swings and misses on the, or swings and fouls back the first pitch to make it an 0-1 count.
Well, and Whittle's just happy that one missed him a little bit. You know, it's certainly tough for Whittle. He's going to have to take some deep breaths. What happened to him there recently on the Jordan at-bats happened to me in life frequently. So
Frequently?
Well, it's tough go of it at times, but.
Step off the mound by Percival causes Cole Jordan to dive back towards first base. Jordan with about a 10-foot lead off base as Cuba Bess is guarding it pretty tightly over at first. 0-1 count. Dylan Wilkinson, no movement with his hands before. The throw down to second is in time, but the tag is not applied as the throw beat Cole Jordan by probably 5 feet, but unable to make the tag was Anthony Matta. And Cole Jordan gets lucky to pick up a huge stolen base, his 23rd of the season.
It was a pretty good throw, but kind of a tough hop there. And Matta probably all in one motion trying to pick up the scoop, the one hop, and then tag Jordan in one motion. Just couldn't come up with a baseball.
The pitch was a ball, so it's a 1-1 count to Dylan Wilkinson as he pulls this one over towards the bullpen for Long Beach Coast, and the bullpen catcher tried to maybe snag that one and frame it over in the bullpen.
Well, still plenty of baseball, and certainly for the Raptors, getting those back-to-back scoreless innings on the Long Beach side, they're a scoreless third and a scoreless fourth. It's Raptors right now in slam range, 9-5 game, and looks like especially with the Raptors lineup, as strong as it is 1 through 9, they're in just about any game. 9-run deficit, 4-run deficit doesn't really matter with this crew because they can score in bunches.
1-2 count incoming to Dylan Wilkinson, and he holds back on a pitch that is said to have caught the outside of the zone, called strike 3, but we're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge, and it is overturned. So Dylan Wilkinson stays alive. It's now a 2-2 count. The Raptors are very aware of Matt Beaver's zone, and it's one that had a lot of successful challenges on it, shall we say.
Oh, Wilkinson, he's got one of the best eyes on the club. He does catch from time to time, so in terms of hitters that know the strike zone, Dylan Wilkinson is about as good as anybody in the club.
2-2 count after Wilkinson survives thanks to that challenge, and he goes down to hit one, but it's foul, and he stays alive.
In fact, we probably had multiple situations where it was a 3-2 pitch, called a strike, and Wilkinson challenged to turn it into a walk. I remember at least 2 specific instances where Wilkinson has won challenges that turned into him getting a base.
Wilkinson knows the zone well. He's batting .313 on the season, but coming off of a Montana trip where he batted .364. So a hot bat thus far. And he bats away the 2-2 pitch, this time up the opposite field line to stay alive.
And Ed Campanella, the hitting coach, and he's coaching at third base right now. He loves to see that. Those good 2-strike approaches by the Raptors. Not try to do too much, just try to find a way to put the ball in play.
Wilkinson continued his hot bat coming into game 1 on Tuesday. Went 1 for 3, but had a double that scored 2 runs. Here comes the 2-2. He hits this one on the ground, handled by the third baseman. Rosengard checks Cole Jordan to make sure he stays back at second, and then makes a throw over to Bess at first for the first out of the inning. Cole Jordan unable to advance 90 feet.
And that's one of those. Wilkinson's a guy that likes to use all fields and does go to the opposite field quite a bit. And with 2 strikes, he's just trying to find a way to put the ball in play. But that is one where you'd love to have seen him hit it to the right side to see if he can advance Jordan to third.
The pitch was very far on the outside of the zone, but in the strike zone. And that's just a hard pitch for a lefty to come around and pull. Jason Jellick steps in. He grounded out to second base last time up. This one is popped up to left field. Matthew Bardowell is just shy of the warning track, and that ball's not deep enough to advance Cole Jordan. So Jellick is still looking for his first hit in a Raptor jersey. His ground out gave him his first RBI, but he's now 0 for 3 in Ogden.
Jellick there with that first pitcher. Probably looking for a fastball, but got something off speed. It seems like Percival's thrown that off speed. Can't tell if it's a change up or a slider. It's one of those that's got some downward movement and has consistently been around 83 or 84 miles an hour.
So Chase Valentine back to the top of the batting order. This will be the 3rd time that Ogden is seeing Percival. Valentine batting .375 on the season. He has the most extra base hits of anyone on the roster. He swings and misses on the first pitch. Knowing that Valentine is going to probably be pretty swing happy on pitch 1, you can get a pitch outside of the zone like Percival just did. That one well outside and a bit low. And know that because Valentine's chomping at the bit, he's probably going to be pretty aggressive on it. Valentine has not seen a ball yet. He struck out in 3 pitches his first at-bat. He flew out on the first pitch his second at-bat, and now is looking at a 0-2 count in his 3rd at-bat.
With a smart pitcher, you'll see an aggressive hitter at the plate, and sometimes you like to use the hitter's aggressiveness against him. That's what Percival has done here in the first 2 pitches.
Raptors have outscored Long Beach 5-2 in the last 3 innings. Cole Jordan trying to make it 6-2. He goes on the 0-2 pitch, and the throw will not be made by David Whittle. So Cole Jordan picks up another stolen base, his 24th of the season, and now stands just 90 feet away from getting the game within 3 runs for Ogden. 1-2 count, though. Chase Valentine needs to get a base hit to score him. Here comes the pitch, and he swings and misses for his second strikeout of the night. Cole Jordan is left stranded. Valentine spikes his bat in frustration, and the Ogden Raptors still trail it by 4. It's 9-5 in favor of Long Beach Coast after 4 innings here in Ogden. We'll be back after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Christopher with Absolute Comfort Heating and Air, and I would do anything to keep my customers comfortable. And when it comes to family, I would do anything for love. I'd fix just about anything. You know I would do anything for you. I won't do that.
But you won't do that.
At Absolute Comfort, I'll do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
There is no substitute for experience. Windward Electric is the foremost complete commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We're committed to excellence, integrity, accountability, and professionalism. We cherish our legacy and value relationships as we strive to provide electrical projects with exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote, or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Harper McClendon will be back in to pitch for his second inning of work. And unless he's going to have his longest outing of his season thus far, this will be the last inning that we see McClendon. There's plenty of players sitting in the bullpen for Ogden, none of them warming up at all right now.
And they could use a little bit of length, considering that this is pretty much a doubleheader since they only got through 2 outs at the top of the first. And so they know for sure they're going to play 16 innings, and they got to find a way to stretch out some relievers, which means that the starter in the second game of this doubleheader, which will be a 7-inning game, he's probably going to have to go at least 6 or 7, or maybe go the full 7 to see if he can save a little bit of the bullpen for the rest of the series.
The guess is that it's going to be Nico Saltzvermaggio versus Garrett Van Deventer, but that was also the guess coming into the game yesterday, and especially with how great Nico has been for the Raptors, you might want to save him for the full 9-inning game. A win is a win nonetheless, though, so could be trying to just see if maybe Nico can go the full 7. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Easton Jones. So far today, Jones has hit a home run and struck out. 1 for 2. Next pitch is outside by McClendon. So far, that seems to be his miss, is missing outside to the right-handed batters. It's to be expected when you have a pitcher who doesn't get as much stretch all the way into the back of their motion, as the next pitch works up and inside on Jones's hands, and he fouls it back. Sometimes everything will just fire a little bit too early, and it gets headed across the plate if you're a righty. So now a 1-2 count on Jones, trying to avoid strikeout number 2 of the evening, and this one is batted back into the netting, coming down just behind the back of Anthony Matta, who is standing right next to the Pepsi on deck circle.
Unfortunately, nobody has brought us a Pepsi yet. We were hoping for that over the last couple innings, but there's still plenty of baseball. I'm also hoping somebody can get us some pizza, some Lucky Slice pizza.
This one is on the ground. Chase Valentine lays out but is unable to stop it, and that goes down as it rolls into center field for a base hit. Despite McClendon getting 2 strikes on Jones, he protects very well and manufactures a single to stand on first base with no outs. Leadoff man on for Long Beach. Long Beach has not scored since back in the second inning. They have only scored 2 runs today. The Raptors started today's resumed game down 7-0, trailing by 7. Now they trail by 4 in a 9-5 game. This one is hit over the head of McClendon. Grounding it and getting the first out is Cole Jordan at second, and they'll get the second out over at first. That ball, the grounder, basically took Cole Jordan directly to the bag. He had his right foot on the bag as he grounded the ball, didn't even have to move, and then just fired it right off on a laser to Gio Ferraro.
Like Cole Jordan sent some pretty good luck at the plate with the ball finding a hole in there. Cole Jordan found a little bit of luck as he was just standing on the bag and got it and then threw it to first. It was certainly a close play, but they were able to get Mata by half a step.
So 2 outs now for David Whittle. Second double play that the Raptors have turned today.
That was one of those where McClendon, looked like he was thinking about making a play on it, but decided to let it go, knowing that it could have bounced off his glove. It wasn't for sure he would have picked it up.
The next one misses low in the dirt and gets over the head of Jellick. And the really important part about McClendon not going to try to make that play is McClendon has to web it out of the air, turn, and try to get the first out over at second, and then the throw has to be made. It's adding a whole nother throw that has to be made. Cole Jordan being able to ground that himself is really what made that play happen. This one is hit on one hop to Chase Valentine. He'll take a couple steps and give it over to Ferraro for the third out of the inning. And now for 3 innings in a row, the Raptors have held Long Beach scoreless. They're continuing to try to make their way back into this game, but it's still 9-5 in favor of Long Beach. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Game 2 of this series between the Ogden Raptors and Long Beach Coast underway here at Lindquist Field. A doubleheader on this lovely Thursday afternoon, a 9-inning first game, and then a 7-inning second game. Ogden currently leads the series 1-0, but it's Long Beach Coast leading this game 9-5. Ogden, though, has won the day thus far, scoring 5 runs. Long Beach only scoring 2. This one is up the first base line, but will barely tail foul, much to Garrett Bivacqua's delight. Cuba Best was trying to charge it from first base to snatch that ball up while it was in fair territory, as Bivacqua would have been right in front of him to make the tag. But it just barely rolled right in favor of the Raptors, and kind of feels like things are going the Raptors' way right now.
Raptors are getting the good bounces. They're getting the little bit of luck from the OT Sports baseballs, and who knows, maybe they'll translate into a few more runs here.
Bivacqua batting .385 on the season. He swings and misses on the 0-1 pitch to make it 0-2. He's been in and out of the lineup. This is going to be his 35th game that he's played all season long. This is the Raptors' 62nd game that they have played. So he's played just north of half their games. Here comes the 0-2. And he swings and misses on the next pitch, so it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Cole Percival, who has settled down very nicely since giving up those 4 home runs in the span of 8 batters. Since then, he has struck out 2 batters and struck out 3 batters and has had a ground out and a fly out. So he has settled down. Raptors have not scored since the top of the the bottom of the third inning, excuse me. First pitch coming into Carmine Lane is a bit too high. Carmine today 1 for 1 with a homer back in the third. One of 4 Raptors today with a home run. 1-0 pitch incoming. And he lifts this one. A lot of air under it, but it is foul. Carmine's going to want that one back, and he kind of taps his teal bat on his helmet in frustration as he walked out of the batter's box, as that one could not have been more middle.
Percival took a little bit more off that. That off-speed pitch he's thrown at about 83, 84. That one was at 80, and maybe just that change in the 3 or 4 miles an hour on that particular spin caused Lane to just miss it.
1-1 pitch is way outside, spiked a bit by Percival. Cole Percival, the son of the manager, Skipper Percival, who obviously had a massively successful MLB career, 4-time All-Star from Riverside, California, 27-year-old playing in the Pioneer League. This one hit high in the air by Carmine Lane. On the warning track is Cooper Vest, and that is Carmine's second home run of the day, and the Raptors are within 3. Fifth home run of the day for the Ogden Raptors. All but one of their 6 runs have been scored thanks to home runs. And it feels like the Raptors are within reach now.
Well, I got another pitch towards the middle of the plate and took it to the opposite field, and it was a little bit more towards the line, so it didn't need to necessarily go 380 or anything like that. It just went 353 feet, and that was certainly enough to get the Raptors another run.
First pitch misses outside to Gio Ferraro. Ferraro, another one of those Raptors with home runs. Now 4 Raptors with home runs. Carmine Lane has 2. 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside of the zone for strike 1. Cole Percival has sped up a little bit. Similar kind of to what Jack Martin did in game 1. That didn't really serve Martin very well, as he gave up 12 runs, I believe. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed by Ferraro, and it makes it 1-2.
That's the tough thing about the pitch clock is instead of pitchers slowing things down and trying to regain momentum and regain pace with the pitch clock, there's not a whole lot you can do. And Long Beach did use a few of those mound visits after those home runs in the 2nd and 3rd.
Next pitch misses a bit too low and outside. A 2-2 count now to Ferraro. Gio bats .412 on the season. Has played in 55 of the 62 games for the Raptors. Tied for the team lead with 19 home runs. This one, though, is on the ground, handled on a weird hop by Jablonski, and he gives it over to first base for the 2nd out of the inning. Percival, a better bounce back, as he has given up back-to-back home runs in the 2nd inning and the 3rd inning. So that's the first time today that he's given up a home run and then gotten the next batter out.
I don't see too many games where you see twice in the same game where the same team goes back-to-back. But that's exactly what happened to the Raptors.
So now it'll be Colson Lawrence stepping up, another one of the owners of a home run today. He checks swing on the first pitch and doesn't go around. Good discipline from Colson Lawrence, a guy who's usually, like we said, pretty swing happy on the first pitch.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that Cole Percival knows that, and so he's going off speed and maybe a little bit out of the zone, trying to get Lawrence to chase, but Lawrence did a good job not swinging at that one.
He does swing on the next pitch low in the dirt, however, and it's now a 1-1 count. Warming up for the Raptors is number 33, Brendan Rodriguez, right-hander.
Looks like a left-hander's loosening up for Long Beach.
1-0 count to Colson Lawrence. Percival, his tan glove at his belt. His high left leg kick incoming. There it is, and there's the 1-1 pitch. This one right back up at him. Body shot that he takes and underhand throws to Cuba Bess. So Cole Percival literally putting his body on the line to get the 3rd out of the inning. The Raptors add 1 more run to their tally, and it's now 9-6. The Raptors slowly clawing their way back into this one. They trailed by 7 after an inning. They now trail by 3 after 5 innings. We'll be back for the top of the 6th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
I had a couple of friends that had come here, and they said that the education from the instructors was just really great. It was kind of between Davis Tech and here, and I decided to pick here because of the instructors. I've always loved hair, nail, and skin and all of those things, so I just thought it was a perfect career opportunity to be able to make my own schedule and do what I love. I really love doing men's haircuts, so that's probably my favorite. That, and then just coloring's fun because you get to experiment and kind of create new things, which is always fun. It's fun because they're like our instructors, and they teach us lots, but they've always become like our friends, and they're always like motivating us to do new things and challenging us, and like really care about us individually and like what's going on in our lives at home, what's going on in our life at school, and they're just very compassionate towards us. I would say 100% do it, even if you're kind of on the edge, because you meet a lot of new friends, you make great relationships, and then it's just fun. You learn a lot of like life skills as well, which is great, but it's just overall a great program. I'm Callie Rasmussen, and I'm a cosmetology student here at OTEC.
Now back to Ogden Raptors professional baseball, live from Lindquist Field.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. New pitcher is in for Ogden as they continue their bullpen game. The pitcher is Brendan Rodriguez, the 6'1", 185, 23-year-old from Apple Valley, California. He most recently played at Lenoir-Rhyne, which is an NCAA school. Only showed up in 2 games there, but had a 0 ERA across 2 innings pitched. So has not pitched a lot in the last year in the NCAA. The most that he pitched was 14 innings back in 2024 with Lenoir-Rhyne, that same college team. So a main reliever who doesn't have a lot of innings under his belt, but could be a good addition for the Raptors. Tall righty. First pitch is low in the dirt.
It does look like Rodriguez has some good velocity, and you almost wonder, because there was that tryout camp that the league had a couple weeks ago, if maybe this was one of the guys that Ed Campanello discovered at that tryout.
1-0 count to Robert Pitts. The next one's low in the dirt as well. So a new pitcher pitching to a new catcher for the Raptors. They have not been afraid to change up the lineup this season or change up the roster, especially from the pitching perspective. Here comes the 2-0. And that one is spiked low in the dirt. It hit the grass way out in front of home plate.
Yeah, they call that the old 55-footer.
Probably not the exact 3 pitches that Rodriguez saw himself throwing in his professional debut. And the next one gets past Jelic, so maybe a few nerves in the first 4 pitches. It's a 4-pitch walk for Rodriguez.
I think that's why Carmine Lane and Jelic are going to go out to talk with him, just to settle him down a little bit. Is obviously in his pro debut, he's excited, he's ready to go, he's anxious, but maybe a little bit too fired up. And in a situation like this, you almost just want to get that first strike over the plate and then settle in from there.
Thing is, though, you have to be careful with these Long Beach hitters, especially with the way that the ball is flying today. You can't just get one across home plate to achieve the first strike. Long Beach has already had 3 home runs in this ball game, and obviously they've put up 9 runs through 5 innings.
That's part of the art of pitching, and that's what makes it so difficult, especially at the pro level, where you can make a good pitch, and a guy like Cole Jordan can just put it in the perfect spot for a single. Just one of those where you just have to find a way to mix things up, attack the strike zone, and see if you can just find a way to get out. So it is certainly a lot tougher than it looks, especially at a pro level, because everybody at the plate is a threat.
Back to the top of the batting order with Benjamin Rosengard. The next pitch misses inside for ball 1. Rosengard did show bunt and then pull back. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Rodriguez glove at his face, and the next one misses outside for ball 2.
Ray Miller, the longtime pitching coach and former manager of the Baltimore Orioles, he always had a pitching mantra of work fast, throw strikes, and change speeds. I know Dave Baggett, the Raptors owner, has a similar philosophy.
First professional strike by Rosengard is watched by first professional strike by Rodriguez is watched by Rosengard to make it a 2-1 count. Runner on first, no outs. In the top of this 6th inning, here comes the 2-1. That one misses a hair outside, and it's 3-1.
I wonder if the Long Beach hitters are going to be as patient as they can be and just force Rodriguez to throw the ball over the plate.
Kyle Lewis is warming up in the bullpen for the Raptors. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And that one hits the lower shin, kind of towards the ankle bone of Benjamin Rosengard. And that's going to be a leadoff walk followed up by a hit by pitch. It sounded like that did catch some guard for Rosengard, but he is definitely in a little bit of pain as he attempts to walk this one off.
Well, you just hope that it didn't just was a direct blow to the ankle. Maybe, a foot or something that's got a little bit more cushion to it, as Rosengard's going to limp towards first base.
Good news for the Raptors is Rosengard might not be as fleet of foot. So it could be good news for them trying to turn 2. Force at every base now with runners at first and second except for home. As Kyle Lewis continues to warm up. Into hit is Matthew Bardowell. Tonight, Bardowell has doubled and then grounded out and struck out. One-0 count to him. Pretty tall right-hander, vertical stance. Here comes the 1-0. And that one misses too low to make it 2-0.
Rodriguez going with a lot of fastballs. He went off speed that time, 82 miles an hour. And in a lot of instances, you might get a chase there because that was a pretty nasty pitch. But Bardowell, being patient at the plate, took it.
Here comes the 2-0, and that one is a called strike on the outside of the zone. I mean, what happens is that if you're a pitcher who hasn't shown a lot of challenge to the strike zone, you're not going to get guys to chase as often because they're not under the initial impression that it's going to be a strike incoming. 2-1 pitch, runners on first and second. That one low in the dirt. Good block by Jelic, and he forces Robert Pitts to go scampering back to second base. So now a 3-1 count, and you would expect that if this one's a walk, you're going to see Evan Parker out to the mound. No outs still. Rodriguez with the 3-1 offering. That one's too high, and it's another walk. So it's a walk, then a hit by pitch, and then a walk to make the bases loaded here in the top of the 6th inning. On a day where the Raptors really had been working their way back into this ballgame. They trailed by 7 after an inning and a half, and then now after 5 innings, trail by just 3. But Long Beach is threatening right now, and you do have skipper Evan Parker coming out, and he's going to make the motion over to Kyle Lewis. So that's going to be the end of Rodriguez's day. Not the professional debut that he dreamed up, to say the least. But we're going to get a call to the bullpen. Coors Light call to the bullpen, and it'll be Kyle Lewis.
Just too bad. It looks like Rodriguez has a pretty good arm, but just maybe nerves or butterflies, just couldn't find a way to get the strike zone. But it does look like once he does settle in, does like he has a pretty good arm. But just one of those situations. Certainly a tough spot there in a 3-run game. It just couldn't find a way to overcome the nerves and find the strike zone on any sort of consistent basis. But better days are ahead for Rodriguez.
And what I do like about the decision by skipper Evan Parker is that you're not letting it get out of hand where the first start ever is, the scarring experience that you're trying to get your confidence back from. And yes, the walking 3 batters, I guess walking 2, hitting 1 is going to be a hit on the confidence. But, technically a run hasn't come in yet. If one of those 3 does score, it is going to be responsibility of Rodriguez. But it's nothing that can't be overcome, and it's nothing too detrimental. Allow Kyle Lewis to come in, try to work out of this jam. A force is at every base right now. Raptors looking to turn their 3rd double play of the night and hopefully just tune up Rodriguez into a way that looks like he can be that productive addition to the Raptors.
Ideally, you'd love to find a blowout situation for Rodriguez, maybe 8th inning of a game that's 18-2 or something like that, and get his feet wet. But which will probably end up being whatever his next appearance is. But going at least 16 innings tonight, that they're going to have to pretty much use the whole pitching staff over the next couple days anyway. But this is certainly a big spot for Kyle Lewis, and a guy that has been in a lot of high leverage situations, and they're going to need him to get a couple outs here.
31st appearance for Kyle Lewis, which is the most of any Raptor pitcher. He's pitched 30 innings this season, has 28 strikeouts to go along with 21 walks. Big moment here. Stepping into the box is going to be Cuba Bess. There's a force at every single base, and everyone playing pretty deep. Valentine and Jordan at shortstop and second, playing just shy of the outfield grass. First pitch misses outside. Lane and Ferraro playing first and third. are about 5 steps deeper than their respective bases. One 0 count to Cuba Bess as he swings and misses on the next pitch to make it 1-1. Bess is the man that you want up in this scenario if you're Long Beach. He's already hit a home run so far in this series that was an absolute monster. And what's more important, he has not grounded into a double play all season long. 1-1 pitch is fouled back into the netting behind home plate.
Infield playing deep. They'll probably concede a run and try to turn 2. You know, in some situations you may see the corner infield in, but the corner infielders are playing back as well. So it looks like they'll try to turn 2. If it's a hard hit ball, they may come home.
The 1-2 with immense amounts of movement out of the hand of Kyle Lewis. I mean, that had, according to TrackMan, 7 inches of horizontal break and almost 4 inches of vertical break. It formed a pretty obtuse C, essentially. Like if you're thinking about the line from the hand to the batter, or excuse me, the catcher's glove as a straight line, that one was an arc with the amount of movement it had on it.
See, I knew you were good in geometry class.
Same pitch, and it's fouled back into the same spot. And that's, I gotta say, that's the most movement I have seen Kyle Lewis put on a pitch all year long.
Apparently it was 13 and a half inches of horizontal break.
And now what's great is he's changed the speed as well. 83 on the last 2. You got a repertoire of what you can pitch right now. He goes fastball, and it is taken to the moon. Get out your astronaut suits as Cuba Bess sends that one into the stratosphere for a grand slam. Talk about a silencer if you're Long Beach Coast. Not the day that you wanted to resume the ball game, but Cuba Bess's second home run is a grand slam here in Ogden.
And it looks like he's going to get the Flavor Flav type of necklace and put it on. That flight needed a couple stewardesses on it, and that was right down the middle of the plate. And Lewis, you know, had been throwing a couple off-speed pitches, thought he could get a fastball, but just right down the middle, and, well, Cuba Bess didn't miss it.
3 of those 4 runs are going to be on Rodriguez's final stat line. The home run that scored will be Kyle Lewis's responsibility. So now still no outs for Jacob Jablonski, who, another dangerous hitter, is up to bat. 3 for 3 on the night, 2 home runs and a single. He's had 5 RBIs on the night already. We've only played under 6 innings of baseball, and the check swing is said to have gone around for strike 1.
The summer heat in Ogden is pretty warm, and Jablonski's bat is just about as hot. If this were a video game, there'd be literal flames coming out the end of his bat.
1-1 misses outside. It's got me thinking of, you know, the very retro NBA Jam when you hit a couple threes and the ball would start flaming, the net would be on fire. That's what's happening to Jacob Jablonski right now. Jazz fans hoping Darren Peterson gets that hot touch this year. The 2-1 misses inside to make it 3-1.
Although that NBA Jam had a pretty good twosome there for the Jazz and John Stockton and Karl Malone.
A lot of excitement in Utah right now for the possibilities of their sports teams. Lewis with light blue sleeves offers his 3-1, and that misses for a walk. Things like momentum and energy are hard to fully describe as their intangibles, but you can feel the difference in this ballpark, even with the smaller amount of people in it right now. I mean, it felt like the Raptors were just mounting this small charge little by little, putting together 6 runs across 4 innings today. And then that grand slam just kind of sucked the air out of their comeback.
Momentum can be a weird thing. You know, they always talk about Old Mo. Old Mo can be a fickle one at times.
0-1 pitch is hit high in the air, basically the same spot as Bess, headed over Raptors Ridge, and that one as well leaves the ballpark 421 feet for Jablonski. Two-run home run. It's a 6-run inning. Give credit where credit is due. Jablonski is the man who had just walked, so he comes in to score, but it's Cooper Vest, the hometown kid, with a home run. A couple of his family in the stands. You can see them cheering out to our right.
And they're smart enough to find the shaded rows.
First pitch is a called strike coming into Easton Jones, the other BYU product.
And with the score, if it continues to be like this, you kind of wonder, how do the Raptors piece together the bullpen the rest of this game? And unfortunately, because this thing did start, it is a 9-inning game. Raptors don't want to use up too many arms tonight in case you got to go to the bullpen early in game 2. And then obviously you got 3 more games in this series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Also have to consider, as the 1-1 pitch comes in and is swung on and missed, the turnaround between Saturday and Sunday is quick as you go from a night game to a day game. So it's just also, the later you get in the series, the more strategic you have to be with who you put on the mound. It's a 15-6 lead in favor of Long Beach right now. Going out to hit this one is Easton Jones, kind of casted his hands and his bat like a fishing pole, and it's grounded by Chase Valentine over to first base for the first out of the inning. So the Raptors finally get the monkey off their back to get out number 1. But it happens after 6 runs come across the plate, thanks to a grand slam and then a 2-run homer. And really what this inning has shown is just how detrimental walks can be. You have Rodriguez give up 3 walks in a row, and that's what got the bases loaded. First pitch misses outside to to Mata. And then the home run by Best scores all 3 of those walks. Jablonski walks, and then Cooper Vest comes in, hits the homer, and scores Jablonski. 1-1 pitch is a called strike on the inside of the zone.
So many big innings. Usually you can tell that there's a walk or 2 mixed in. So many key situations, 2-run homers, 3-run homers. It's surprising how often a walk factors in before that home run.
Mata hits this one up the right field line foul. So a 1-2 count now on Anthony Mata. So far today has not been his day. 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and has grounded into a double play. That 1-2 pitch works inside on him and a check swing, but he goes all the way around. So that's his 3rd strikeout of the day. Kyle Lewis's 1st strikeout of his outing and out number 2 of this 6th inning.
Get out the hats and toss them wherever you are. That is the hat trick for Anthony Mata. 3rd time he has struck out here tonight. Unfortunately, he's 0 for 4 and has contributed to 5 outs. The only non-strikeout was a 4-3 double play.
Now brings up David Whittle, who is 2 for 3 on his night. First pitch misses outside to him. If Lewis is able to get Whittle out, they'll avoid having the Long Beach Coast bat around for the 2nd time in this ball game. Here comes the 1-0, and that one misses outside as well.
You don't have too many extra spots in your scorebooks. You're hoping that they can get Whittle out here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried. I would have extra ones in the next game as we're only playing a 7-inning game, but if I need more than 9 today, I'm in trouble.
My scorebook can go to 15 innings.
2-0 misses outside. Well, you got that. It's the Bob Evans, right? Is that right? Or Bob Carpenter?
The Bob Carpenter. It's almost like the most common one around.
I think Bob Evans is an egg white brand.
I think so. No, Bob Evans was a Fox 13 news anchor, I think.
Well, you can also get Bob Evans egg whites. 3-0 misses outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk given up to David Whittle.
Isn't that Bob Evans? Wasn't he on Fox 13, 9 p.m. news? We're going to look it up.
Let's see. So Bob Evans is a breakfast brand. Bob Evans is a restaurant serving home-style favorite for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they also sell egg whites. And then you think he was also a Fox 13?
Yeah, Bob Evans, Fox 13.
And you're absolutely right. So Fox 13 News at 9 anchor since October of 1993. Previously worked at KUTV.
And was also in Kansas City, but he's been around a good 3 decades.
1-0 pitch. Misses up high. That's 6 straight balls out of the hand of Kyle Lewis. Robert Pitts is up for the 2nd time in this inning, but facing a different pitcher than the last time he was up. And that next pitch misses from Kyle Lewis as well. So Now 7 straight balls from Lewis. It is about as quiet as I've ever heard Lindquist Field in here right now. Lewis, the pitch, and that one is a called strike.
Crowd will certainly file in here as the regularly scheduled 6:30 game will be a 7-inning affair. And it is a thirsty Thursday here at the ballpark.
That pitch misses as well, so it's another walk as Jellick will go snag it from the backstop. Runners are on first and second. Lewis just looking for one more out to get out of this inning. His team trailing by 9 right now, 15-6. They entered this inning only trailing by 3, and then a 6 spot in the top of the 6th inning for Long Beach has put them up by 9. I mean, 6, I guess, is their lucky number today. Runners are on first and second now. After back-to-back walks, first pitch misses outside to Benjamin Rosengard. Rosengard is the one who got absolutely nailed in his ankle last time up. Next pitch misses inside. It's been a rough inning for the pitching staff for the Ogden Raptors. They've given up 6 free bases in this inning. Coming into the inning, they had only given up 1 free base.
If you do run out of space in your scorebook, I'll make sure to purchase you a Bob Carpenter scorebook.
And you can get me some Bob Evans eggs whites while you're at it.
And we'll see if we can meet up with Bob Evans, the Fox 13 News newscast.
It's what we call the trifecta. Me and Tyson are making it up. And if anyone else is named Bob, you can just come join us. Lewis steps off the mound. Hit us on our text line at 385-240-1121 if your name is Bob. That's all we want to know.
Or if it's Billy or if it's Billy Bob, we'd like to hear from you as well.
What's Bob a nickname for, Billy?
Robert.
Robert. This one hit high in the air to left field over the brick wall. Another homer. 3-run homer. That is the 3rd home run of this 6th inning. And it's going to be the 9th run that they've put up in the 6th inning. Long Beach Coast putting an exclamation mark on the inning that they're having.
And it looks like the Flava Flav necklace is going to be worn by Benjamin Rosengard. And, well, it looked like Long Beach needed a day or two to adjust to the altitude. And it looks like they've pretty well adjusted. It's a good 95, 96 degrees here in Lindquist Field. And, boy, the Long Beach bats are certainly about as hot as the weather.
This one is first pitch, swung on, hit into left field, and it'll be a base hit for Bardowell. So while it looked like the Raptors might get out of the inning without adding any more damage, 2 walks and then a homer add 3 more runs to the tally for Long Beach. They now lead this thing 18-6.
The big at-bat of the game was probably the grand slam earlier in the 6th inning by Cuba Bess.
And Bess has hit 2 bombs in the series already. One of them coming today, one of them coming back on Tuesday, and he's the one in the box right now. First pitch misses outside. And if you're Kyle Lewis, you're going to be pretty careful pitching to this guy right now with the power that he has displayed this week. Next pitch down and off the legs of Jason Jellick, excuse me, and that'll go into the dugout of Long Beach Coast. So Matthew Bardowell will take his base.
Unfortunately for Lewis, it's just missing the strikes, and on the occasion he has thrown it over the plate, he's found too much of the plate. Just been tough for Kyle Lewis, who seems to just be working through, I wouldn't know if it's mechanical issues. Obviously, he probably knows more than anything else, just kind of working through some things right now.
1-0 is hit high in the air by Bess. It's got a lot of distance behind it, but luckily for Ogden, it's foul. That one almost made it all the way to that concrete parking structure out 500 feet away from us.
And luckily, it looked like it missed some cars. There's some people working their 9-to-5s, and that'd be a little bit disappointing for them if they went to their car and saw a shattered glass. And I don't know if it did hit a car based on the sound that we heard, but hopefully it avoided all the cars. It'd be disappointing if you walk to your car and all of a sudden there's a big dent or a glass that's broken.
Next pitch misses outside. Bess, a pretty big guy. Unsurprising that he has the power that he does. Stands at 6'2" and 230, and it's clearly a lot of muscle in that 230. The next pitch misses outside, and it's another walk for Kyle Lewis. Every single player who has walked this inning has gotten on base, has crossed home plate and scored. Every run scored so far in this inning has been off of a homer. So the bases are now occupied by Cuba Bess on first and Bardwell on second. Bardwell reached base thanks to a single, and then Bess just walked, obviously, and it brings up Jablonski. Jablonski walked his last time up in this inning, but on the day, that was the first time he didn't pick up a hit. He's 3 for 3 with 2 homers and a single.
Jablonski, that sounds like a good name for an auto parts shop. What was that commercial, that funny commercial that we saw that has been played over the last couple months where it's like a high school graduation? And because, life is getting so expensive, a couple parents decided to sell the naming rights to their kids. I think Jablonski Auto Parts might have been, or it could be a tattoo shop. I'm not sure, but I think Jablonski was what one of the kids was sold for, their name.
Called strike in the bottom of the zone. I mean, we've also been told by some of our hockey guys in the booth that Jablonski sounds like a great hockey name.
It really does. It sounds like a nice blue-collar defenseman that blocks shots and will get in a fight every now and then.
Another called strike, and it's now a 0-2 count on Jablonski.
I think our executive producer, our fearless leader, Tim Broussard, actually knew somebody named Jablonski, but unfortunately he was kind of mistake-prone, so they'd always come on and be like, come on, Jablonski. This guy at the plate, though, is definitely not. He is definitely not mistake-prone. Jablonski is about perfect at the plate.
The Raptors have committed a few Jablonskis in this inning.
Well, the game's getting away from just about everybody here.
1-2, swung on and missed by Jablonski. He spins his bat around, but not a lot to be mad at if you are on the Long Beach coast. But they score 9 in the top of the 6th inning, and they lead this one 18-6, heading into the bottom of the 6th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. A long inning, 25-minute inning by our count, ends finally if you're the Ogden Raptors. And a new pitcher is into the game for Long Beach Coast. Cole Percival's day is over. That new pitcher is Jake Dixon, the left-handed reliever. He was playing for the Idaho Falls Chuckers the last few seasons and playing under manager Troy Percival, came over to Long Beach with him. His last relief appearance came in Game 3 against the Oakland Ballers. He went an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. None of them were earned, and walked 2 batters. Better appearance before that one was in Game 1 of that same series. Went 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. So trying to have a little bit better control than his last outing is Dixon. This one is a swinging bunt by Greco, and he'll just underhand throw it. Will Dixon over to Bess at first base for the first out of the inning.
And for Dixon, he's certainly been a workhorse for Long Beach. This is his 27th appearance. Pioneer League hitters are batting .304 against him. And oddly enough, with the scoring rules, if he's able to pitch the final 4 innings of this game, he could actually get a save.
Nothing like the 12-run lead for a save. Really high stress. Cole Jordan steps into the box now. First pitch is a called strike. Jordan, a guy who is a lot more prone to watching the first pitch go past him, kind of regardless what the pitch looks like. So now it's an 0-1 count. Today, Cole Jordan has gone 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Next pitch misses too low.
That's one of those, I got to imagine if I'm a pitcher, that's one of the first things I want to know. Does he swing at the first pitch? What kind of counts does he swing well in? What kind of pitches is he hitting for line drives, home runs, that sort of thing? And you got to know that the Long Beach dugout knows that Cole Jordan takes the first pitch quite a bit.
1-1 misses outside to make it 2-1. And so far this year, it's worked pretty well for Jordan. On the season, he's batting at .328. And he's worked himself on base 32 times via walks. Check swing on the 2-1. He did not go around. Jeering coming from the Long Beach Coast dugout. Every single person in the Long Beach Coast dugout is seated, trying to save their energy with a current 12-run lead. They don't really need a lot of cheering coming from the dugout.
They do have what looks to be a misting fan coming out of the dugout, cooling it off.
Jordan turns on the 3-1, and that is a bomb out of the ballpark. And Cole Jordan adds his name to the list of Raptors with a home run today. Now the 5th Raptor with a home run and the 6th home run of the day.
Well, for the Raptors, everybody 3 through 7 in the order has a home run, and Carmine Lane has 2. And obviously kind of a modest applause here from the crowd based on what the score is, but that was certainly a bomb for Cole Jordan. He's had an outstanding game at the plate as he's now 3 for 3. He's a triple away from the cycle. That one just was a little bit too much in the middle of the plate, and Cole Jordan hit it a good country mile.
420 feet for Jordan on that. And Dylan Wilkinson steps up to the plate. Not his night so far. 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. First pitch to him misses outside.
Boy, Jordan smoked that one.
Cole Jordan on the season, that is going to be his 15th home run. So that puts him in the top 3 for Raptors with home runs. The 1-0 misses too high from Dixon.
Unfortunately for the Raptors, you talk about 6 home runs. Unfortunately, from their perspective, all 6 are solo shots.
And you say if you're defense, you can live with giving up solo home runs. I mean, you're probably not wanting to live with giving up 6 of them, but they add up quickly, as the Raptors found in the last inning with the grand slam and then the multi-run home runs.
That's just it.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
2-1 is hit on the ground and finds the gap by Dylan Wilkinson between Matta and Rosengard at shortstop and third. So back-to-back hits for the Ogden Raptors, solo home run, and then a single by Jordan. Never say die attitude with this Ogden Raptor team, as they will continue fighting until the final out. Evan Parker's MO is always that you have to play them for 27 outs, and they're always going to be trying to make the most of those 27 outs.
And for the Raptors all year long, they've been 27 pretty tough outs as they came into play today with a team batting average of .355, which is insane. And if you think about all 9, or 8 of the 9, I mean, Jellick just making his first start, but, 8 of the 9, at least the 8 that have played regularly, have a .313 batting average or better. So the Raptors, they're a pretty tough lineup for any pitching staff, considering that 1 through 9, there's not an easy out in the lineup.
And that .355 batting average is the best in the Pioneer League. Billings Mustangs is second at .349. And yeah, it's the Raptors leading in just about every important category when it comes to batting average. From a power perspective, they don't have as many home runs. Billings, 125 home runs. Ogden, only 97. So they do a good job getting hits. They're not as powerful as some of the other teams. First pitch misses outside to Jellick. Jellick still looking for his first hit as an Ogden Raptor, with his team trailing by 11 right now. Would definitely be a good time to try to get something going. The 1-0 pitch starts inside on Jellick and then finds its way cutting back into the zone.
Looks like a left-hander loosening up for the Raptors in their bullpen. Looks like Nolan Ficklin.
It kind of looks like Bradley Pell.
It does look like Bradley Pell.
Because I don't think Nolan Ficklin's on the roster
He's
anymore.
not on the roster anymore. I think it is Bradley Pell.
So we might be getting our first position player into pitch. I haven't seen that yet this year. Obviously, the 11-run deficit is what's causing it, but 1-2 to Jellick, and that one catches the inside bottom part of the strike zone, and he strikes out looking, does Jellick. First strikeout of the outing for Jake Dixon, and there's now 2 outs.
Well, having to play 16 innings tonight, the Raptors probably want to save a few of their arms for game 2, but they've still got 9 outs. They've got to get on the mound, and it looks like it'll be Bradley Pell for the 7th. Probably would be Kyler Stancato, but I think he is battling an injury and is unavailable.
Kyler Stancato led off pitching when they were back in Montana. Only went 2 innings. It was more of a bullpen game, but he did get the start. First pitch, a called strike to Chase Valentine, and he doesn't swing at it, surprisingly. Dixon checks the runner on first. Being a lefty, has a great view of it, and a foul ball sends the ball flying out of the ballpark and the bat flying out of Valentine's hands.
Valentine will probably get some pine tar. Well, it looks like he won't get some pine tar, but he will kind of get regathered at the plate. Valentine at times has been spectacular. You see him at home runs, 480 feet. He's been a great base runner all year. He's somebody that's got great tools, the type of tools that scouts love to see.
And he's fast, gets great jumps on the base path, 34 steals on the year, leads the team. So he's really great on defense, great in the batter's box, and also great on the base paths. Can't ask for a lot more. The next pitch is fouled off of the bat of Valentine and then off of the helmet of Whittle behind home plate. Whittle's taking a bit of a beating behind there today.
He's probably hoping to get the second game of the doubleheader off, and he probably will, as we'll probably see Pappas behind the plate. Especially taking a beating with the foul balls, but you also got to think about all the gear in the 95-degree heat.
0-2 to Valentine. That one misses too high. But a nod of the head from Whittle says that is the exact pitch that they were trying to throw Valentine.
0-2 count. You want to see if they can get somebody to chase. In fact, some pro teams, they'll find pitchers if they give up base hits in an 0-2 count.
Here comes the 1-2. Swing and barely catching the ball is Chase Valentine. That one will bounce away foul.
Another one off of Whittle as he looks at his right hand.
Can I have the front office read?
Yes.
1-2 count, 2 outs. Dylan Wilkinson is the runner over on first. The Raptors have scored 1 in the bottom of the 6th off of the bat of a Cole Jordan solo homer. 1-2 low in the dirt, gets to the left of Whittle, but not far enough away for him to Dylan Wilkinson to try second. Raptors have been outscored in this inning by 8 runs. They're getting outscored in the ball game by 11 runs. But it was a very different ball game at the end of 5 innings. The Raptors were trailing by just 3. It was 9-6. 9-run top of the 6th really tied up this ball game, really put a bow on it for Long Beach. Next pitch works inside on Valentine, and he's got to tiptoe out of the way.
Still got a 7-inning game, either starting at 6:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. From the Ogden area, coming out and join us. It's a thirsty Thursday, and looks to be the weather's beautiful, even if it is a little bit warm. There is plenty of spots in the shade. Come on out and enjoy some baseball with us.
That Thirsty Thursday means half off on all Pepsi products as well as other alcoholic drinks, as Chase Valentine swings and pops this one foul as well to stay alive.
Yeah, Wilkinson will definitely be taken off on the pitch with it being a 3-2 count with 2 outs.
Valentine hits this one opposite field once again into the green hill that is in front of the playground.
It was unfortunate we had that lightning delay and what turned out to be a rain out last night because it was an outstanding Wednesday night crowd here at the ballpark.
Last night was Military Appreciation Night, and like you said, it was just a great turnout. The fans were plentiful as Valentine fouls another one off. Wilkinson's getting his steps in between first and second base, as he has been sent back to first base after foul balls multiple times.
Wilkinson's getting a good workout in, and David Whittle at this point is wondering, why did I decide to be a catcher? As that was another one that was fouled off of him.
Whittle's a two-way player as well. I guess two-way usually is saying batting and pitching, but I'm going to call it two-way, where he's on the receiving end of the pitches and also on the delivering end of those pitches. He pitched back in game 1 of this series. 3-0 through pitch again. This one is on the ground. Matta goes over to it at shortstop, and he muffs the ball. Dylan Wilkinson rounds second and goes to third. And Chase Valentine will reach first after a hard-fought at-bat, thanks to an E6.
Wilkinson taking off on the pitch, and that was just one of those where it looked like Matta took his eye off the ball and tried to skip steps, and he has been, and that will be an E6. It looked like he just pulled his head and just couldn't come up with the baseball.
So now runners on the corners for Garrett Bivacqua. A base hit would get the deficit down to 10 for the Raptors. Bivacqua on the day today, 0 for 3. 2 grounds out and a strikeout. First pitch to him is outside. The last lefty that Dixon faced was Wilkinson, and he had success going opposite field with the pitch. 1-0 count to Bivacqua, that classic upright stance, waving the bat over his left shoulder, and that next pitch misses outside. That gets past Whittle, and coming home to score will be Dylan Wilkinson. And Chase Valentine makes it over to second. Never say die for the Raptors, still down by 10, but still 3 innings to play. You never know what can happen. I mean, you have if you're going to ever take inspiration from the other team, you do have Long Beach putting up 9 runs in the top of this inning, showing that it can be done.
Anything can happen in this ballpark, especially with the ball, with the way the ball carries. And the Raptors have already hit 6 home runs. They're averaging 1 homer an inning.
Yeah, you know the bats are working for you. Those 6 home runs have to be providing a certain level of confidence. Runner on second now, still 2 outs for Bivacqua. And he swings and misses on the next pitch, so it's now 2-1. Bivacqua searching for his first hit of the evening, or the afternoon, I should say.
It will turn into evening here pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, it is 5:02. People could eat dinner at this time. It could be evening. That one goes behind Bivacqua's back, and Chase Valentine will now take third. So 2 wild pitches move Valentine from first to second and now third, and he's in great scoring position, but still 2 outs, so they're going to need a hit from Bivacqua to get on base.
Bivacqua had to think about, because usually the natural reaction is to pull yourself back a little bit, and you decide to, with that upright stance, a ball just somehow mysteriously missed him.
Kind of arched forwards, actually, to create an inverted C facing the plate as the ball sailed behind him. A little bit of Matrix-like movement in there. 3-1 misses outside, and it's a walk to Garrett Bivacqua. So now runners are on the corners for Carmine Lane. That's the first walk that Dixon has given up. And that's the first time that the Raptors have walked since back in the first inning.
And that was kind of the unusual thing, how you mentioned how those bases on balls could easily lead to big innings because of the lack of walks. All those home runs that the Raptors hit were solo shots, all 6 of them. And it's kind of tough to get those big innings when it's just 1 run at a time.
Undeniably, the Raptors are going to need help from Long Beach if they're going to make their way back into this game. And a big part of that help is going to be the errors, like you just saw from Matta, and the walks.
Well, on Tuesday night, when the Raptors scored 17 runs, there were 4 Long Beach errors.
Teal bat in the bare hands of Carmine Lane. No batting gloves as always. He pokes this 0-1 foul, and it's now 0-2.
Well, Lane swinging with a lot of confidence. He got 2 home runs this afternoon, 1 in the 3rd inning and 1 in the 5th.
His last 2 at-bats have been home runs. He walked back in the 1st inning. Carmine feeling pretty good, but not a batter's count for him right now, 0-2. Runners on the corners. Here comes the pitch, and he hits this one a pop-up, but also foul out of play and landing on the aluminum roofing, and now is going to roll down out of play.
Boy, it's so quiet at the ballpark, you could literally hear the ball rolling along the metal
slats, maybe?
I always just call it a roof, but, you know, it's panels, maybe.
0-2 pitch once again, and Carmine Lane hits this one under the lights of the sky. And that one, another one that didn't look like it should have gone out of the ballpark and found its way over Raptors Ridge. Carmine Lane, 3 home runs tonight, and 3 in a row.
That's at least the second home run hit to the opposite field as Carmine Lane points to the heavens, and you know what? He's probably going to get one more at-bat this afternoon. He's got a shot at maybe a 4-homer game. You talk about as hot as it can be. You talk about hitters that have been great for the Raptors not only last year but this year, but Carmine Lane coming through huge. And with this being a 7-run deficit, hey, this thing isn't over yet. We're only in the bottom of the 6th as Evan Parker is going to talk with Gio Ferraro, and they're going to have a little bit of a strategy session. And well, it's a type of game where, you know, it looked like Bradley Pell had been warming up. Now it looks like they're going to get a pitcher up there as the Raptors now believe that they're squarely in this one.
Ira Austin is the pitcher warming up. So yes, the Raptors have scored 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. We've had a 14-run bottom of this. A 14-run 6th inning as a whole.
I wonder what they were talking about. I'm not sure they were talking about Ferraro's at bat. They might have been talking pitching strategy as they had a position player warming up, and Evan Parker and Ed Campanello were probably just talking about what they were going to do with the bullpen over the next 3 innings.
Ferraro was part of that conversation, although maybe that was just for appearance reasons. Ferraro swings at the first pitch, and that one sails out of play. When Ferraro bats well, he avoids winding his hands around his body too much. When he had that really successful stretch of games against the Idaho Falls Chuckers, the focus for him and Ed Campanello during BP was when you load up, don't twist. Don't twist around yourself. 0-1 is caught on a line drive by Jablonski to end the inning. That was a hard hit ball by Gio Ferraro, but just placed in the wrong spot. But the Ogden Raptors score 5. They still get outscored in that inning by 4, but they are right back in this game. It's 18-11, so still a 7-run deficit, but a lot better than 12. We'll be back for the top of the 7th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10?
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Tickets are on sale now by calling 801-393-2450 or at ogden-raptors.com, or simply stop by the Linquist Field box office in person at 23rd and Lincoln. The Raptors are the 9th highest attended sports team in Utah, including the colleges, and #1 attended venue north of Salt Lake. Come experience what it's all about here at Linquist Field. Ira Austin is the pitcher, and his first pitch is taken right back up the barrel, retreating to the wall is Dylan Wilkinson. It goes over his outstretched head. He goes slamming into the wall, and coming around for a double is Cooper Vest. Vest's family continues to get fired up in the stands out to our right. They made the trip up from St. George to watch their son.
So they're used to the hot weather. It's actually a pretty cool day by St. George standards. And what a game Cooper Vest has had. He had a single and stole a base in the first inning, had a 2-run homer in the 6th inning, and now a double. He's a triple away from the cycle.
Easton Jones, the other BYU product, up now. Jones is not having as great of a day, but however, he did homer back in the first inning. Off speed from Ira Austin is a bit too high and inside. Austin has seen quite a lot of action in this series. He pitched back on Tuesday, went 1 inning of relief, gave up 2 hits, a run, and walked 2. Didn't have a strikeout, so looking for better control tonight. His 1-0 is swung on and missed. Foul tip that was caught by Jellick.
Boy, Austin's the 6th different pitcher used by the Raptors. Last night, Chase Chapman went 2 1/3 innings, and earlier today it was Carson Kelly, followed up by Harper McClendon. And then we saw Rodriguez make his pro debut, Kyle Lewis, and now Ira Austin. Kind of one of those swinging bunts from Jones. It just came out in front of home plate, and a pretty good play by Jellick, a guy that's 6'3", 220 pounds or so, and he was pretty agile getting that swinging bunt, and he made a nice throw to first. It was a productive out as Vest was able to move up to third base.
So 1 out has been recorded. And it brings up Anthony Matta, the shortstop. Not to be negative, but Matta having the worst day of anyone in the batting order. He is the only Long Beach member to have not scored today. He's got the hat trick of strikeouts and also grounded into a double play. Every other member of his team has crossed home plate at least twice.
Well, that's tough. 4 at-bats, and he's made 5 outs.
First pitch to him was a ball. Next pitch is right up the gut, and that's going to go down as the first hit of the night for Matta, and he scores Cooper Vest. And that's got to feel good if you're Long Beach Coast, as it kind of felt like for Ogden, they had to put up a 0 in this inning if they were going to feel like they were back in this ball game. And yes, it's just 1 run, but Long Beach feels like they have their grip pretty firmly on this game.
They were looking to regain momentum. You know, it looked like Ogden was going to go with a position player in the 7th inning in the name of Bradley Pell, but with the 5 spot in the 6th inning, Ogden decided to go with Austin. And we may see Bradley Pell at some point in the next couple innings anyway if the Raptors don't climb back into this one.
First pitch 1-0 is a called strike 0-1, excuse me. Pitching to David Whittle. He has singled twice today and walked. He fouls the next pitch back into the netting. So now an 0-2 count on Whittle. Austin looking for the second out of this inning. Run already scored. Runner is on first. Double play ball is in play. He throws it back to Ferraro at first to get the runner staying honest.
Few people from the state of Louisiana on the Raptors club, and Ira Austin is one of them from New Orleans, Louisiana.
It's kind of seeming like it's a requirement as the runner is able to steal second. A pretty delayed call from Schatzman, the third base umpire, but stolen base by Anthony Matta moves him into scoring position and takes the double play out of play. One, 2 for David Whittle, searching for his 3rd hit of the game. Only gotten out once today. His team leading by 8 currently. They've put up 10 runs in the last 2 innings. 1-2 off speed, waited on. Valentine moves to his left and bobbles it. That one's going to go all the way into center field, and coming around to score will be Matta. So he now has made it so all 9 players on Long Beach have scored today.
It was one of those, Valentine went towards his left. I think he was thinking the ball was going to hop up maybe a little bit more than it did. And he's probably thinking it was going to be a waist-high hop, and it ended up as kind of a knee-high hop. And that just had a ricochet off his glove, and unfortunately wasn't able to keep it in the infield. And that's what allowed Matta to score from second.
They're going to give Whittle a hit there, not an error against Valentine. And now we'll bring up Robert Pitts with just one out. Double play back in play. First pitch is too high for ball one.
Of course, if you were an official score, you could give it a hit and an error, because that was kind of a slower hit ball. Whittle could reach first, and then you could give the error to Valentine, which would explain how Mata scored from third.
Next pitch misses too low.
There's one job I would never want to have. It's being an official score. That's one of the toughest jobs in all of sports.
Well, and you never really make people happy.
No, nobody's ever happy.
I guess you'll make one group happy, but always by making one happy, you're making someone else upset. It's kind of like being a referee.
Yeah. That's why there's rules now in place to where, both dugouts, they can't contact the official score, because it used to be quite the epidemic where you'd have full-out arguments after the game with the official score and the teams.
3-0 pitch called strike down the middle for Robert Pitts. Pitts today has had a beautiful eye at the plate, walking 3 times. He did ground into a double play back in the third, so he's technically 0 for 1, but has reached base 3 times. Looking to work his 4th walk of the game, and he does so.
As pitching coaches would say, oh, those bases on balls. And it looks like Christian Griffin's going to come out and talk with Ira Austin. And I believe Christian Griffin, who had been a pitcher for the Raptors over the last couple of years, I think he just joined the team either last week or this week, and obviously Raptor fans would know him over the last couple of years, as he did turn into a fan favorite. Griffin, one of the great personalities in the league, and he has joined the Raptors here for the what we believe is the final month and a half of the regular season.
And it makes sense to have that addition, as obviously skipper Evan Parker taking a new job over at Judge Memorial, and this is going to be his last week as the manager of the team. So that's why you have the switch over with Ed Campanello going from coaching first to coaching third, and likely why you have the addition of a pitching coach to the staff, as especially with the bullpen catcher Chase Wells, who served as an assistant coach, getting called up. The pitching staff was looking a little bit slim, or the coaching staff, was looking a little bit slim for the Raptors.
Well, especially since Evan Parker probably acts as the pitching coach as well, at least for the first half of this season, being a former pro pitcher himself. But it is certainly great to see Christian Griffin, who everybody in the Raptors organization likes, and he'll do a great job.
First pitch is a ball coming into the top of the batting order for Benjamin Rosengard. Rosengard's 6th at-bat of the night in just the 7th inning. 1-0 count. He's got a red bat on his left shoulder. Next pitch misses a bit outside.
I wouldn't turn the dial, because there's going to be one more at-bat for Carmine Lane. There's only been one player in Pioneer League history to have a 4-homer game, and we actually saw that here at Lindquist Field last year. So Lane, one more at-bat. He'll be going for his 4th homer.
2-0 catches the outside of the zone for called strike 1 to make it a 2-1 count. Rosengard today has a double and a home run. He also reached base by getting hit by a pitch. That was that one that drilled him in the ankle. Wonder if that sticks in your head for the rest of the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's something you think about constantly. It's one of those where if you get hit in the hand, everything just kind of goes to that one spot that's hurt, and you feel it for the rest of this day, and then you hope that it doesn't swell up when you're sleeping.
2-2. That one misses outside. The count's now full.
You've probably done that playing golf, where you hurt something and then you wake up the next day and it's even worse than it was maybe the first couple hours after sustaining the injury.
I would say that was more of a prevalent problem when I ski raced. Golf's a fairly safe sport. Unless you're getting domed by, an errant golf ball, you're pretty safe out there. 3-2 is fouled away.
Some idiot that doesn't yell 4.
Yeah, but I will say, worst pain on the golf course is when you hit your ankle with your putter.
That
kind
hurts.
of where actually Sebastian Greco hit himself earlier today on the ankle bone. I mean, I can't imagine what it feels like to have a 100-mile-an-hour baseball going into it, because it's like a 3-mile-an-hour putter, and I'm on the ground. 3-2 pitch is lifted into left field, tailing into foul territory, but on chase is Carmine Lane. He's unable to get there. Colson Lawrence unable to get there as well. So that'll just drop down foul. What do you think is the worst pain out on the baseball diamond? Removing broken bones.
Well, probably when you foul one off your shin. You get one of those shin burgers.
Do we think the foul off the shin or what David Whittle dealt with earlier today is worse?
Whittle probably is worse, I would think. They're both pretty painful.
I just have to go on your judgment on that. The 3-2 is low in the dirt for ball 4. Bases loaded, 1 out. Last time bases were loaded, Cuba Best came up and hit a moonshot. So Matthew Bardowell is just a player before him in the batting order, is going to try to do the same. If he is to strike out, Best would be in a position for his second grand slam of the night.
Which Long Beach fans would certainly love. Raptor fans probably wouldn't be as happy about that.
I'm not sure Raptor fans are thrilled in general right now.
No, they're not. Despite the fact that the Raptors have been unbelievable in terms of hitting the long ball with 7 homers, including 3 by Carmine Lane.
You always try to find the positives. Carmine Lane has been the positive today, as well as all of the long balls.
Now remember to stick with us as he will get one more at bat. We mentioned the only 4-homer game in Pioneer League history, which actually came last year with Connor Bagneski, June 25th of 2025.
2-0 catches a zone for called strike 1. We're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge by Bardowell. Called strike. Our scorekeeper / overturning or our Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge people might have been a little bit unaware that a challenge was issued. And
now it looks like Long Beach is out of challenges, or maybe he was saying there was no. I'm not really sure. So Long Beach is out of challenges. They unsuccessfully.
Richard over the PA goes, check that. I forgot about the first inning.
Well, it's okay. The first inning was a good 23 hours ago, so it's understandable.
2-1 pitch off of the base of the bat. Goes foul 2-2. We all understand, Richard. I think the Raptors would like to also forget about the first inning. It's not often, though, that you give up 7, and that's not the most runs that you'll give up in an inning. Giving up 9 back in the 6th. 2-2, bases are loaded. Here comes the pitch. It's too high. Austin now needs to challenge the strike zone as he has nowhere to put Bardowell.
Well, there was multiple 9-run innings in that game when Idaho Falls scored 40 runs against Great Falls.
I mean, there has to be at that point.
Crazy enough, there was 38 runs scored in the first 6 innings of that game.
Wow. Full count pitch is fouled back. The thing that amazed me the most about that game, where there was 58 runs scored total, 40-18, it only took 4 hours.
Yeah, if there was no pitch clock, that would have gone at least 4.5. Maybe
I mean,
5
we've
hours.
played a 4-hour and 11-minute game here, and it wasn't even the crazy score. I think it was 14-12 or something. I mean, I guess that's a crazy score by baseball standards, but not by Pioneer League standards. Payoff pitch once again. The bases are loaded, and that one misses. Austin has walked the man home, and now the Long Beach Coast have scored 3 runs in the top of the 7th.
That was kind of an interesting choice to go off speed there, as it looked like Austin was trying to get Bardowell to chase, and Bardowell's shown to have a pretty good eye at the plate. Second time he's walked, and well, that brings up that Cuba Best Grand Slam possibility. Cuba Best can hit him as well as just about anybody in this league. Kind of built like a linebacker. In fact, Bardowell's kind of built like a linebacker as well.
First pitch challenges the outside of the strike zone and catches it for called strike 1 against Best. He's having a good game. He is 2 for 4. His 2 are a double and a grand slam. Next pitch is fouled back, and he's behind 0-2. So if you're Austin, got to feel pretty good about the fact that, you've gotten ahead 0-2 on Best, the best hitter in this lineup thus far.
Now what's the put-away pitch? Do they see if they can waste one outside, or does he go off speed, or maybe challenge him with a fastball?
If you're going to go fastball, you got to keep it low in the zone. Try to get a grounder. That one is high. It's deep, and it's another Grand slam! 2 on the evening for Cuba Bess.
Well, he did go off speed, and that was low in the zone. And Cuba Bess doing his best John Daly impersonation as he just kind of drove that one a long, long way. Second grand slam, and that's certainly a rarity in its own right.
Do you have the numbers on that one, Tyson? 2 grand slams in a game?
We'll look it up. We know there's only one 4-homer game, and Carmine Lane should get one more at bat, but 2 grand slams in a game, I got to imagine it's happened a couple times in this league. We'll certainly look it up, and it looks like, unfortunately, it's going to be all for Ira Austin. We're going to have our 7th pitcher of the afternoon, and certainly not what you would want to have in game 1 of a doubleheader.
And it's Bradley Pell, position player. We'll go to a quick break as Bradley Pell warms up. And we come back, it'll be time for the mainly outfielder to take the mound after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
The environmental benefits of propane are many and growing. Every day, millions of Americans use propane for dependable energy at home, at work, on the road, and beyond. Propane is the energy for everyone because propane is reliable, versatile, and affordable. But it's more than that. It's also an excellent way to reduce emissions while meeting energy needs. And reducing emissions is good for everyone, now and in the future. That's why major advances are being made right now to produce more renewable propane, sourced from used cooking oil and other waste products. Material once headed for the landfill is being converted into an energy that adds no new carbon to the atmosphere when burned. Renewable propane's carbon footprint is smaller than almost any alternative energy source, including diesel, natural gas, and electricity too. And the supply of renewable propane is growing rapidly, helping to reduce harmful emissions without sacrificing performance. Renewable propane is helping to write the next chapter of clean energy for families, for businesses, for farms, for everyone. Learn more about how the energy for everyone is growing. Visit propane.com today.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and Bradley Pell is the pitcher. First time that Bradley Pell has pitched all season. Really the first time that the Raptors have used a position player as a pitcher this season.
Looking at the Google machine, it doesn't look like there's been any Pioneer League players, at least in our initial search, have hit 2 grand slams in a game, so we may have seen some Pioneer League history there with Cuba Bess. Hard to say since this league has gone back a good 75 or 80 years, and so a lot of history as Bradley Pell lobs went in there. There's been 13 times in Major League history where a player has hit 2 grand slams in a game, so a rarer feat than a perfect game is what we've seen with Cuba Bess hitting 2 grand slams.
This one is lifted into center field. Coming in on it is Dylan Wilkinson, and he snatches that out of the air for the first out of the inning. So Bradley Pell, 1 batter faced, 1 out.
You know, it's funny when you see those position players. You know Bradley Pell, if he really wanted to, he could throw one about 80, 85 miles an hour, but you throw it under the hitting speed, and all of a sudden it turns into something these guys aren't used to, and you get those pop-ups, and they don't necessarily hit them as hard.
First pitch is a called strike from Pell coming into Cooper Vest. Vest has had to hit a homer and a double to go along with 2 singles tonight. So if he does hit a triple, you will get the cycle for the night. Here comes Pell's pitch, and this one is hit hard into center field. Going back to it is Wilkinson, and he makes a leaping grab for the second out of the inning. Bradley Pell gives a wry smile as he walks off the mound, and he goes 2 up, 2 down for the 2 batters that he faces, but it's 25-11. The Long Beach Coast put up 7 runs in the top of the 7th, and they lead this one by 14. Heading into the bottom of the 7th on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
At GCB Computers, we specialize in high-quality, refurbished computers that save you money without sacrificing performance. We believe in use it before you buy it. Come into our showroom, power up your future computer, and test it out yourself so you can buy with confidence. Visit GCB Computers online at www.gcbcomputers.com or call 385-515-1797. That's GCB Computers, the computer you need at a price you can afford. Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit ascentcu.com.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. First pitch is popped up foul by Colson Lawrence. Man coming into pitch is number 50, the right-hander for Long Beach Coast. It's Steven Ordorka. He did not have a great outing his last time in Game 1 against the Raptors in this series. Only faced 4 batters and gave up a run. Next pitch is swung on and missed by Lawrence, and it's now 0-2.
We've seen pitchers of all shapes, sizes, and we got a submariner out there. Seen position players on the mound, and Ordorka comes from down under.
This one right back up the gut, and that's going to go down as a base hit for Colson Lawrence.
First 5 innings are pretty routine. It was a 9-6 game after 5 innings, but how about this? Long Beach with 9 runs in the top of the 6th, Ogden with 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and then Long Beach with 7 runs in the top of the 7th.
Sebastian Greco coming up to bat, so it's 25-11. Long Beach leading this one by 14. Doubleheader game as well, so kind of just trying to get through the game. First pitch to Greco is batted foul.
If you're keeping score at home, just stop. Your scorebook is a complete mess right now.
14-run game right now. Let's play a little game, Tyson. We'll do the alphabet game. So you start with A 1 pitch, misses the outside of the zone. And we're trying to get all the way to Z, which I don't think we'll get there, of baseball terms. So A, we can go at bat for our A.
Yeah, at bat.
You'll get B.
Bunt.
Bunt. Okay, here comes the 1-1. And it is pulled towards the playground. C, I'm going to go catcher.
Dinger.
D, okay. E, error. There has been 3 in this game thus far. 3 errors, 2 for the Raptors, 1 for Long Beach. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Colson Lawrence is the guy on first. That one misses outside. We're now on F.
Fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice, I like it. Also could have gone foul ball. Extra points if you get alliteration. Two of the same letter in a row. 2-2 pitch, here it comes. And swung on and missed by Greco for a strikeout. So G, ground ball.
Hitter.
Hitter, that's solid. I like hitter. Then another question is, when you're going through the alphabet to find the next number, do you have to, or next letter, do you just sing the whole alphabet?
Yeah, you just sing it.
Because I
like
never
you're
know the
7
next
years old.
one.
Yeah. I is after H.
I. Immaculate inning. That's a double. Jordan lifts this one high in the air, but it doesn't have the length that it needs. Going back on it is shortstop Mata, and he makes the grab as he switched from his chest facing the wall to spinning around 180 and making the snag. So we need J now after I said immaculate. Is immaculate starts with an I or an E?
Starts with
Yeah,
an
okay.
I.
I went I. I got nervous.
Boy, J.
Got time to think about it. As Dylan Wilkinson steps into the box. First pitch misses outside for ball 1 to Wilkinson. Tonight, Dylan is 1 for 3. Ground out, and then a single. If you have a good baseball term for the letter J, text us 385-240-1121. Next pitch up and inside for Ball 2. I have an option, and David Whittle probably wishes he had a stronger one earlier today.
Yeah.
You get what I'm pushing at?
Yeah.
Little jock strap.
I was thinking, sometimes when you get the bases loaded, pitcher's in a jam.
Jam. I'm good with that. Or you get jammed up on the hands.
Yeah.
K. H-I-J. K.
Or a home run be a jack.
A jack, yeah. K. Well, can I just use a K?
Yeah.
K.
K.
Forwards K, backwards K, strikeout. Need L as it's 3-1 count to Dylan Wilkinson.
Well, I've seen a few liners hit today.
A couple line outs as well. 3-1 pitch, right down the middle. And Wilkinson was ready to toss his bat and walk down to first base, but it's now 3-2 full count. M, we got the mound out there. That's where Ordorka is currently standing out on the mound. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runner goes, and it's outside for a walk. Now we need N. We need N, Tyson. Coming up to bat is going to be Jason Jellick. Jellick still searching for his first hit of the game and first hit as a Raptor. Runners on first and second for him right now. Swing and a miss on the first pitch that was up and inside. He's going to wish he had that swing back.
I don't know if it's a baseball term, but we've seen some no-doubter home runs today.
I like that.
Or you could have a no-hitter, which you see a couple times a year.
We had a no-hitter back when Idaho came to play and against the Chuckers. 0-1 is swung on and missed for 0-2.
Well, game 2 of this doubleheader will be the nightcap. We'll go nightcap. No doubter. That's my final answer.
I like that. That works for me. 0-2 count coming into Jellick. Runners on first and second. 2 outs in the bottom of this 7th inning. Raptors trailing 25-11. And Jellick swings and misses for his second strikeout of the night to end off the inning. So when we come back, we'll be on the letter O for our alphabet game. And it'll be the top of the 8th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
The environmental benefits of propane are many and growing. Every day, millions of Americans use propane for dependable energy at home, at work, on the road, and beyond. Propane is the energy for everyone because propane is reliable, versatile, and affordable. But it's more than that. It's also an excellent way to reduce emissions while meeting energy needs. And reducing emissions is good for everyone, now and in the future. That's why major advances are being made right now to produce more renewable propane, sourced from used cooking oil and other waste products. Material once headed for the landfill is being converted into an energy that adds no new carbon to the atmosphere when burned. Renewable propane's carbon footprint is smaller than almost any alternative energy source, including diesel, natural gas, and electricity too. And the supply of renewable propane is growing rapidly, helping to reduce harmful emissions without sacrificing performance. Renewable propane is helping to write the next chapter of clean energy for families, for businesses, for farms, for everyone. Learn more about how the energy for everyone is growing. Visit propane.com today.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. It is the top of the 8th inning, and Long Beach Coast is leading at 25-11. But more importantly, we are on O for our alphabet game. And as the first pitch by Bradley Pellis swung on and missed. And I have our one of our photographers, Haven Aurelia Miller, is listening in, and she told me to say outfield for O. So we got O, outfield.
Outfield makes a lot of sense.
0-1 pitch. Misses outside to make it 1-1. You got P.
Pitch out.
Pitch out. You know, also for P, we have a position player pitching.
Ooh, the triple P.
Triple P.
That's good in a Scrabble game.
The position player, Bradley Pell. Oh, position player Pell.
Position player Pell.
Position player Pell pitching. Misses outside for ball 3.
Peter Piper picked a pickle.
Peck of pickled peppers. 3-1 count. Now I've got Q.
Boy, you got the tough one.
And that's going to be a walk from Bradley Pell, bringing up Anthony Matta. We've got some texts coming in from the text line. Back when we had J, they said Jack. And for N, they said no hitter. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's what we said. Q, I'm going to say quick pitch.
Quick pitch.
Quick pitch.
That's the name
Q.
of one of the MLB Network shows. I think that's a highlight show. See every night and every morning. Quick pitch on MLB Network.
Here comes the pitch from Bradley Pell. And that one misses outside. So now you've got R.
Right fielder.
Right fielder, I like it. You also could have gone run. It's what they've scored a lot of, have Long Beach State. This one is a fly ball to center field. Dylan Wilkinson catches it on the run and throws it back in for the first out of the inning, and it's going to be Easton Jones retreating all the way back to first base. All 3 outs that Bradley Pell has recorded have been on fly outs to Dylan Wilkinson, so he's made Dylan busy. But so far, he's faced 4 batters and has retired 3 of them. So now I've got S. First pitch on the ground, lined into left field by David Whittle. Advances Jones to second, and Whittle now stands on first.
That's the 4th hit for Whittle. What did Whittle do to get that base hit? A swing.
Oh, a swing, yeah. I was going to say he ran to first. A swing, that's a good one. You can also go save. Shortstop. A lot of options for S. First pitch misses down low. Coming into Robert Pitts. Now we've got T.
Triple play.
It's a good one. We saw one of those the other day.
Hey, the Raptors are in triple play position here with the runner at first and second.
Wouldn't that be a crazy call? Calling your shot on the triple play.
Now we got a line out to Chase Valentine. If both runners aren't disciplined, you can have an unassisted triple play for a U.
Unassisted. I like that. I'm trying to think of other U's you have. I think unassisted is probably our best bet for you. 0-1 coming in. Misses just a bit outside the pitch, so now it's 1-1. V. 1-1, 1 out. Runners on first and
I
second.
would say vertical break, but that seems a little too analytical.
This one is on the ground. Valentine shows to his right, gets the first out at second. They're unable to make another, but they will get the second out of the inning, and now runners are at the corners. Bradley Pell just needs one more out to go back-to-back scoreless innings. You go velocity for V.
Yes, that's a good one. We've seen a few for W. We've seen walks. We've seen a few of those.
We have seen quite a lot of walks. Also, Bradley Pell, the man on the mound right now, has hit a walk-off this year. First pitch is a called strike coming into Rosengard.
Yeah, you didn't hear that term walk-off until Dennis Eckersley, who I believe was the one that actually created the term walk-off, which is odd considering Dennis Eckersley gave up maybe the most famous walk-off home run in history.
Grounder, handled by Ferraro, sliding. He'll take it to first himself, and it's back-to-back scoreless innings by Bradley Pell. Bradley Pell has had the most success of almost any pitcher in this ball game so far for the Ogden Raptors. However, they still trail it 25-11, and I think we're on the letter X when we get back for the bottom of the 8th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years, getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Nothing I do seems to pay any dividends, you know.
How many of you feel the same as Alexander?
Yes, me.
How many of you have been following the steps?
I want to, but it's hard to remember all of them.
Right?
Same here. It's way too complicated.
Let's take a break.
Is it over?
Get your money working by becoming a member of America First Credit Union today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. It's a blowout for Long Beach as they're leading this one 25-11. Chase Valentine stepping in, and the pitcher on the mound is still Ordorka, Steven Ordorka. First pitch is fouled back by Chase Valentine. We are on X for the alphabet game that me and Tyson have been playing.
I think I got a weird one for X, but I think it might work.
Next pitch misses outside, and it's now 1-1. I've got an idea for X, and we also have an idea from the text line. So you go first, and then we'll share.
Well, the 1919 Chicago White Sox, obviously they threw the World Series, and their best player was an outfielder named Joe Jackson. That one's fouled first base side, and Jackson did not know how to read or write. He was illiterate, and so anytime he had to sign something, he would just simply mark an X. That's all he knew how to write.
That is the most Tyson answer to the alphabet game that I have ever heard. Here comes the 1-2 to Valentine. He hits this one right back up the middle, and that's going to go down as a base hit for Chase Valentine.
So there's three key reasons to keep tuning in. One, we got another game starting either at 6:30 or 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. We've seen 2 grand slams by the same player in Cuba Best. That's certainly crazy. You never know what's going to happen in the Pioneer League, and Carmine Lane is on deck. He has already hit 3 home runs. Remember, there's only one player in Pioneer League history that's had a 4-homer game, and that was here at Lindquist Field when Connor Bagneski had 4 homers against the Owls. That was on June 25th of 2025.
Garrett Bavacqua fouls away the first pitch to make it 0-1. My X is XBH, which is the stat for extra base hits. And then we also have an X from the text line saying the X, which is the runs scored in the bottom of the 9th whenever the Raptors are leading after the top of the 9th. So the home team is leading. Called strike to make it 1-1 against Bavacqua.
So that would be right there in the box score. You just X out the bottom of the 9th as it's not necessary. Or if a team clinches the postseason, you put an X next to their name.
Did we say W?
Walk.
Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss by Garrett Bavacqua as a strikeout. Now we'll pause our alphabet game as a big at-bat for Carmine Lane. He's got a chance to hit his 4th home run of the day.
He had a solo shot in the 3rd inning, a solo shot in the 5th inning, and a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. And at least 2, if not all 3 of them, were hit to the opposite field.
First pitch is inside to him. The Raptors are still figuring out their walk-up songs. We're over halfway through the season, but just figuring out the timing. They get played a little bit late, and you don't hear a lot of them. Here comes the 1-0 from Ordorka. Chase Valentine's the runner on first. Lane swings and misses on a pitch that was a bit too high in the zone.
Well, but he took a good cut at that, as he probably knows how rare a 4-homer game was, and he was actually here when Connor Bagneski had that 4-homer game as their teammates last year.
And not just looking for 4 homers, but 4 in a row as well. His last 3 at-bats have been homers. Next pitch is called strike in the top of the zone. Submarine pitcher is a hard one to get a home run off of, as the ball is kind of trying to move up over your bat.
But if he does homer, I imagine this can be a legendary home run call by you.
Swing and a miss, it fouls back.
It's a bit of that rise ball, and looks like the pitcher's trying to throw up on Carmine Lane, up and out of the zone a little bit. So Lane probably have to be a little bit disciplined and not chase one too high.
1-2, 1 out. Lane hits this one high in the air, and it's going to come out of play, foul. I believe there is a different catcher behind home plate. No, it's still David Whittle. I, for some reason, made up in my brain that he was number 18 and he's number 17.
Probably see Johnny Pappas catch the second game of this twin bill.
1-2 once again to Lane, and check swing. They're saying he did not go around. And his effort for a 4-home run game stays alive.
And what a moment that was last year when Connor Bagneski hit 4 homers. That was one that everybody in the ballpark here at Lindquist Field won't forget. That was June 25th of 2025.
Lane, another check swing. They're going to appeal. Also say he didn't go. Now a 3-2 count. I'd rather see Carmine just make a swing at something than walk, honestly. I want to see him try. Full count. Payoff pitch. Lane, a liner into center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder. And a throw into first is not in time to get Chase Valentine as he's ran back. Robert Pitts made the catch. So Carmine Lane's effort for a 4-home run day ends, but still a great day for Carmine. And we are now on Y for the alphabet game as Ferraro comes in to bat.
Boy, there's probably a couple easy ones, although when you get a nice-looking curveball, sometimes they call it a yacker, which I got to think we got to find a more common one than that.
My mind is blank with Y. First pitch to Gio Ferraro is swung on and missed. Chase Valentine takes second. I don't have a lot for Y. Ferraro, bat over his right shoulder, 2 outs in the top of this 8th inning. Or bottom of the 8th, excuse me. Pitch misses too high, and it's now 1-1.
I mean, nice curveball. You can call it a yellow hammer.
So you've got Yacker and Yellow Hammer. I'm not going to lie, neither of which I had ever heard in my life until about 30 seconds ago. 1-1 pitch is very lightly hit by Ferraro. Coming in on it is Rosengard, and he makes a throw over to Bess at first for the final out of the inning.
Luckily, the inning ended, so we'll get some time to think about Y and Z.
I'll be pondering Y and Z as we are getting ready to head into the top of the 9th inning. 25-11 in favor of the in favor of Long Beach Coast after 8. After this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in commercial construction. Hundreds of projects throughout the Intermountain West attest to Kier's.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years, getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Coming back.
Welcome back to that was the voice of our lovely TD, Andrew Gaunt. I guess our assistant TD.
We've had a few of them. Eric Kelleher pretty much does everything. He pulled the tarp yesterday. We saw him cooking hot dogs, and
he
was part of the technical director crew, and now Andrew's here, and we'll have Alan Hill and Tim Broussard as well.
Andrew, how are we feeling after that one?
Oh, that was fantastic.
I'm glad to hear your voice on the broadcast.
Of course. Love to be here.
Cole Jordan is coming in to pitch, and for Y in our alphabet game, as the first pitch by Cole Jordan is a ball. This one, 86 miles an hour for Jordan, as it popped out to right field, going back to the wall, and caught just shy of the wall by Garrett Bivacqua. So Cole Jordan prompts a fly out. So far, the position players are doing very well. I'm going to go for Y, yard. When you go yard. Text line wanted Yankee.
Well, I guess you can go Yankee. That's the most obvious why we didn't just immediately think of Yankee. That's on us.
Yeah, Yankee. Okay, now we've got Z. One out for Cole Jordan as his pitch is well outside to Cuba Best. Got to be pretty careful with this one.
You could probably go Zinger, just making up stuff. You could go with the double Z's, which is the last two letters of Buzz. You know, the Salt Lake Buzz are around for 7 years.
1-0 pitch from Jordan. Jordan's got some heat. 86 miles an hour. I mean, it's too slow for a fastball if you're actually trying to be a pitcher. But for a position player, that's solid.
He is not just lobbing it in there. He's actually going at this as a pitcher normally would.
Little off-speed action, 67 miles an hour. Gets the guy to swing, Cuba Bess. Cuba Bess has only been sat down swinging once today, and he's flown out once. The other ones have been doubles and home runs, and he bats this one foul.
Xander Bogaerts of the the Padres, former Red Sox.
We need something better than a name.
And that takes out Richie Zisk.
1-2. And Cole Jordan still searching for a strikeout as the next one is fouled away. The one thing Pell did not do was get a strikeout. He held them for 2 innings scoreless, but did not get a strikeout. So Cole Jordan trying to get into rarefied air. This one is pulled into right field, and that's going to go down as an extra base hit. Bavacqua fields it off the wall. The throw coming into second is not in time, and Cuba Best stands up after sliding into second. That's just the second hit that has been given up by a position player so far in this game. First extra base hit. Bradley Pell gave up a single.
That would have been a home run had he hit it high enough. That was just one of those line shots off the wall, but the only thing that kept that from being a home run was the height of the wall. If it were the right field wall at Dodger Stadium, that would have been his third home run of the game.
Right back up the middle towards Cole Jordan. That'll go down as a base hit. Cuba Best will hold up on third. And Jacob Jablonski picks up another hit on the night.
That's his fourth hit. He's got 2 homers, 2 singles. He's also walked, so he's reached base 5 times.
For Z, I'm thinking zone. Strike zone.
Ah, yes. That's better than Zinger.
I don't mind Zinger, actually.
You know, if a guy has a pretty good fastball, he's got some zip on the ball.
And then you also have zeros. You know, in the 8th inning, we had zeros on the scoreboard, or the count is zeros. You know, first pitch from Jordan on a zeros count is a ball low in the dirt.
The team in Denver before the Colorado Rockies was the Denver Zephyrs.
I'm proud of us, Tyson. We made it through the whole alphabet.
Look at us.
I didn't think we were getting to Z. We had some help from the text line. Next pitch is a called strike to make it 1-1 going here against Cooper Vest. For all of you guys tuning in and wondering what in the heck is happening and why are they talking about the alphabet, well, this game got a little bit out of hand, 25-11, but if you stick around, the 1-1 is hit high in the air to left field. Jordan might have given up a home run, and he did. 3-run homer given up by Jordan, and now Bradley Pell has the advantage on Jordan in terms of position players pitching. But the next game will start 30 minutes after the culmination of this one, and we'll go into Game 3 tied up at 1 game apiece in this series between Long Beach and Ogden. The projected starters are Garrett Van Deventer and Nico Saltaformaggio. We'll see if those hold, as it's going to be a 7-inning game. Called strike on the first pitch coming in to Easton Jones.
With the heart of the order for Long Beach, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters each have 2 home runs in the game.
Next pitch fouled back, and Jordan gets ahead 0-2.
And as far as we know being a really good Google search, Cuba Best at 2 grand slams. It might be the first time in league history that's happened.
This one had some nice movement from Jordan, and it causes a pulled foul ball. We're getting 6 inches of vertical break and 8 inches of horizontal break. Cole Jordan is pitching more like a pitcher, whereas Bradley Pell pitched like a position player. 0-2, a little bit high.
Although he went back with his arm a little bit more, kind of telegraphing the fastball a little bit.
1-2 pitch in the dirt. Jordan is a outfielder by trade who's kind of been converted into a second baseman and now a pitcher. Who would be your pick as a position player pitcher on our team?
I think Kyler Stancato's probably
That doesn't count. That doesn't count because he's like kind of a pitcher.
Probably Valentine.
He seems like he would have some good action.
You'd also have to factor out Colson Lawrence, who was a pitcher in the Marlins organization for a year or two.
Yeah, you can't use people who actually are pitchers. Like I want like a Kike Hernandez true pitcher. And Cole Jordan gets a strikeout, something that Bradley Pell did not do.
They're going to keep the baseball for him as they rolled it into the dugout.
I mean, that's got to be his first professional strikeout, right?
I would think so.
Jordan, the co-captain of this team, has played for them for 3 years, but this might be a new territory for him. First pitch is a bit outside, coming in to Anthony Matta.
Well, Raptors are certainly going to be happy to just scrub this one away. And the good thing about starting a new game 30 minutes later is you don't have any time to think about this one.
Next pitch low in the dirt to Jelic. We'll expect to see Salts Formaggio, 8-1 record on the season. I mean, he's looked great thus far.
And he's usually averaging about 6 or 7 innings per start. So he may end up going the distance, as the second game is going to be a 7-inning contest. And the only reason why this one wasn't is they got started, played the top half of the first inning, and you knew today was going to be a long uphill battle for the Raptors, as Long Beach did score 7 innings before the lightning delay that turned into a rain delay and then eventually turned into a rain out in a suspended game.
Calling time is Matta. As he got a little frazzled in the box. Cole Jordan's heater worked up and in on his grill.
You usually don't expect that with a position player.
3-1 pitch, right down the middle, swung on and missed.
Waimata walking back to the dugout of his strike 3. He's got another one. Waimata hoping to not get the golden sombrero. He's already struck out 3 times.
On the ground, Lane waits for it, takes it after 2 hops, and gives it over to Tyler Stone, who slubbed in to play first. And Cole Jordan looks at the scoreboard and shakes his head after giving up the 3-run homer, but Jordan, the second baseman, does record a strikeout, and it's going to be a total of 28 runs for Long Beach Coast today. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up, with Ogden trailing by 17 after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Are you okay? You seem upset. Turns out you were right. Our car was breaking down and we did need a new one with a loan from America First Credit Union. Me saying there was no hurry and to wait was wrong. Hey, on the bright side, we got to meet Huey.
Get your money working with our low-rate auto loans, now with no payments for 90 days.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's.
Little moments become big when you don't have to worry about your finances. Money can be a giant source of stress, but it doesn't have to be. Here at Ascent Credit Union, we work to empower our members to be able to manage their money easily, quickly, and most importantly, without stress. When you aren't worrying about your finances, you get to enjoy life more. That's why we are here. Call 801-399-9728 for more information, or visit ascentcu.com.
I'm so terrible.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. We got our TD back on the broadcast once again, Andrew Gaunt. I think Andrew just wants to hear his voice.
We will not give him an E11 or an E12 or whatever there. I think we'll give him a base hit on that.
Base hit. New pitcher coming in, and it's going to be Tyler Gannis coming in to pinch hit for the Ogden Raptors. Jackson Bird is in to pitch for Steven Ordorka. And then you'll also have Tyler Stone pinch hitting on deck after that. Next game will take place 30 minutes after the culmination of this one. It'll be game 3 in the series. Both teams are going to be tied up at 1. First pitch is a bit too high from Jackson Bird. Raptors have seen Bird once so far in this series. Good news for the Raptors, their dugout fully in the shade now. As for Long Beach Coast, they're still cooking out in the sun. 1-0 pitch is grounded right up the middle over an outstretched Bird and mishandled by Matta as he moved over to his left to try to make the out. And Jackson Bird just couldn't quite soar enough to get that ball.
He's got pretty long arms, but just couldn't get there. I like what you did there with the Bird soaring.
Appreciate it. I'll be here all week.
Looks like it'll be a base hit for Gannis, and he'll certainly take it. Normally you see a third baseman with the bare hand attempt, and it looked like Matta went with the bare hand attempt and just couldn't come up with the baseball.
Tyler Stone up to hit now. He was the Missoula Paddleheads power hitter and then came over to the Raptors about halfway through the season. First pitch is up and inside on him.
And everybody from the University of Nebraska is happy right now. Stone at the plate. And
go Big Red, baby.
They might make a bowl game this season.
They might. Big Ten Media Day is going on right now, and Nebraska and Coach Rule were on the stand. They were the topic of conversation today.
Yeah, a lot of people locally are going to be watching Big Ten football, particularly looking at Michigan football. How about Kyle Whittingham, the 21-year head coach of the Utah Utes? He's now coaching the University of Michigan.
Good season coming up for college baseball. Swing and a miss on the 1-1. Who's your college, or I said baseball. I'm just thinking about baseball. Who's your college football team, Tyson?
It's that team a couple hours to the south there. Their main colors are blue.
We a BYU fan?
I am. Which, it's like politics.
Lifted into shallow left field. Retreating on it is Rosengard, the third baseman, and he'll make the catch just in foul territory for out number 2.
See, the problem is if you say you're a BYU fan, immediately Utah fans think less of you. So I try to hide it every now and then as to who I really root for, because that's how much the rivalry is. That's how heated the rivalry is. There's people that now think less of me because I root for BYU.
I think that's just the core of any great rivalry. You have to genuinely think less of the other person. Like for me, people who cheer for Iowa, they're just less. Not as great, don't have a great opinion, and their corn sucks. Ooh, Cole Jordan. High hit ball into left field, but it does not have the legs, and settling under it is left fielder Maxwell Bardowell for the second out of the inning.
Well, I personally like the corn that comes out of the state of Nebraska more than the state of Iowa.
Iowa has bad corn. It's just a statement of fact. Ask Tyler Stone. He would agree with me. Dylan Wilkinson coming up to bat. Wilkinson played his college ball at Longwood University. I wonder if Longwood shucks any corn. Might just be the Cornhuskers. Called strike. Did you know there's an international corn museum?
No, I didn't. Well, you got the Field of Dreams game coming up later this month. Played in Iowa with the Phillies taking on the Twins.
0-1 coming into Wilkinson. The world's only corn palace is located in Mitchell, South Dakota. Grounded right back up the middle, past the back side of the pitcher Bird, and then handled by Matta. It's thrown over to first base, and Tyler Gannis will now take third after the miscue. Yeah, the world's only corn palace is in Mitchell, South Dakota, and I have been.
You've been there.
I have been. It was as electric as you would think it is.
Wow, is it worth the vacation?
I mean, if you're ever going to South Dakota.
Maybe one of these years.
Corn Palace in South Dakota. I've also been to the Spam Museum.
Wow, didn't know there was such a thing.
Well, you also didn't know there was a Corn Palace until about 30 seconds ago. The Spam Museum is in Austin, Minnesota. That one was also pretty electric.
That's near Minneapolis. I might use that as part of a vacation. Get over, see the Twins play.
The Spam Museum was better than the Corn Palace, in my opinion, as this one is grounded by Jellick up the third base line. I would think the Spam Museum would be located in Hawaii, just with the immense use of spam there, but Minnesota. I think there's a dinosaur museum out in Magna, Utah, I believe.
Might be Vernal.
You're right. No, it's Vernal. You're right. 100%. Vernal, Utah.
Which makes all the more sense why the baseball team's named the Raptors.
1-1 is swung on and missed by Jellic.
We learned about dinosaurs quite a bit when I was growing up.
Were you a big dinosaur kid? I feel like you're like a dinosaur kid, a tractor kid, or like a space kid.
It was all sports except for dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were awesome. T-Rex is my favorite.
1-2. Lightly hit coming in on it is Rosengard. He'll make the throw over to Bess at first, and that's the ball game. 28-11 victory for Long Beach. Ogden tried to claw their way back into this one. At the start of the game, they were down 7-0. Ogden got it all the way to 9-6, but then it was a 9-run top of the sixth that gave the Long Beach Coast a 18-6 lead. It was then 18-11 for a second, but 10 more runs scored through the final 3 innings of the game made it a 28-11 victory. Great day for Cuba Bess, who hits 2 grand slams. He goes 4 for 6, above an 8 RBI day for him. Just a all-around great day. Carmine Lane has 3 home runs to his name for the Ogden Raptors, and home runs were plentiful to say the least in this ballgame, Tyson. I mean, we had 7 for the Raptors, and you had, I believe, 6 for Long Beach Coast. Not going to lie, though, the scorebook's looking a little bit messy after that one. So a 28-11 victory for Long Beach Coast. We're tied up 1 game apiece so far in this series, and Game 3 will be taking place at about 6:40 p.m., 30 minutes after the culmination of this one. We'll be right back here on Home Team Network on the YouTube audio stream if you're listening there. But we hope that you'll join us for the second game of this doubleheader this afternoon. It'll be a 7-inning game between Long Beach Coast and the Ogden Raptors. Thanks so much for listening to us today, Arden Locke and Tyson Whiting. We'll be back with you in about 30 minutes.